Number 26, so we may spend time with our families. As always, if you need assistance, call 575-746-3571 or visit cvecoop.org.
You're invited to join any Pecos Valley Baptist Association church for their Christmas services in Carlsbad at Blodgett Street Baptist, Christmas Day service at 8 a.m., at Cavern Church, Christmas Eve at 6 p.m., First Baptist Church in Carlsbad, Christmas Eve at 5 p.m., Christmas Day at 9:30 a.m., and at Happy Valley Baptist, Christmas Eve at 6 p.m., Christmas Day service in your jammies at 10:45 a.m.
If you have an item for Talktivities, email it to calendar@pvbcradio.com. That's calendar@pvbcradio.com.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Former President Trump is blasting the Democrats' House January 6th committee, which recommends criminal charges against him and some of his associates. The former president calling the panel a kangaroo court that makes a mockery of democracy.
In a statement released Monday by Mr. Trump's campaign, the former president emphasized that the select committee, quote, is not bipartisan, noting that, quote, only Democrats and never Trumpers participated in the sham investigation. In creating the committee in 2021, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi flouted House rules by not allowing the House Republican leadership to select their members. The Trump campaign said that even the bipartisan advocacy group No Labels condemned the January 6th House panel as, quote, compromised and divisive. Bernie Bennett reporting.
Congressional leaders have unveiled a $1.7 trillion spending blueprint. It includes more aid for Ukraine, a nearly 10% hike in defense spending, and $40 billion for communities recovering from natural disasters. Although his city is getting some federal aid in dealing with a flood of illegal aliens, El Paso Mayor Oscar Leeser says it's no long-term solution. He contends a permanent solution lies beyond America's borders.
We can continue to go at this rate and continue to have thousands of people and have hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, because at the end of the day, this is strictly a Band-Aid for something that's bigger than El Paso, and in my opinion, it's bigger than the U.S. They're going to have to work with the UN and other countries.
Meanwhile, Title 42 restrictions on illegal immigration, which had been set to expire, will stay in place for now. That's a result of a ruling by Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts. Watching Wall Street ahead of this morning's opening bell, Dow futures up 1 point. The NASDAQ futures are down 47, and S&P futures 7 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. Not only is it open enrollment for a lot of people, it's also a time you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. And it's true, the typical family switching to MediShare saves $500 or more a month, which is obviously huge for a lot of people. But what's more, they like it. MediShare has double the customer satisfaction rate compared to health insurance. Double. There are 400,000 members. They've shared over $4 billion in medical bills, and it really is a great community, too. People encourage and pray for each other. And here's the thing. If you join MediShare Complete right now, they'll waive your new member fees, and you'll save an additional 10% off all of 2023. That's right. No fee to join, 10% off every month of next year, but it's a very limited time offer. You have to sign up before December 31st. Great savings, great health care. Find out more. Call now. 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE. 844-41-BIBLE.
Germany convicts a 97-year-old woman who had worked at a Nazi death camp.
The court ruled that Irmgard Fuchsner was an accessory to murder in over 10,000 cases for her role as a secretary to the SS commander of the Nazi Stutthof concentration camp during World War II. The defendant was alleged to have aided and abetted those in charge of the camp in the systematic killing of those imprisoned there between June 1943 and April 1945 in her function as a stenographer and typist. The German news agency DPA has reported that Fuchsner received a 2-year suspended sentence in line with prosecutors' demands. I'm Charles Dilladesma.
Several local governments in China have encouraged people with mild cases of COVID-19 to go back to work this week. Another sign of the difficulty the country is facing as it rolls back some of its most stringent virus containment measures. News and analysis, townhall.com. Some of our canine companions could find the holidays a bit challenging.
Traveling with dogs can be stressful. Throw in holiday homestays at one of the most chaotic times of the year and double that stress for humans and animals alike. That's especially true when hosts have pets of their own. Dog owners should plan ahead and communicate freely with their host ahead of time. That's to avoid spoiling the experience or, worst case, causing physical harm. Trainers say enrichment toys can help calm a pet in a new environment. So can toting along their crates if they're already crate trained. John Scott reporting.
Ukrainian President Zelensky has visited eastern Ukraine, a city that's a recent focus of some of the most intense fighting of the Russian war. The city, the scene of fierce battles between Ukraine's defenders and Russia's invading forces, according to Zelensky's office. Zelensky said to have met and chatted with military personnel. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. Let's have a listen. What does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Holiday Tuesday.
Yep.
It's the week before the week that is the holiday week.
Yeah. What he said.
What are we, like 5 days, 6 days away from Christmas now?
I've lost track. Okay, so Sunday was 7 days away. So 5.
Yeah.
5 days out.
Nice. 5 days away from Christmas. So happy holidays, everybody. You know, I saw something on Facebook right before I went on air. Gave me a giggle.
Yeah.
So, you know that Netflix has the Wednesday Addams show.
Oh,
Wednesday.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big hit right now.
Which is awesome.
Well, apparently there's a Lego Wednesday Addams kit or whatever.
Oh, yeah, right.
But the picture I'm looking at, it's got the Lego action figure of Wednesday Addams with the umbrella. And then right next to it is one of those Lego hands. It's a little claw.
That's awesome.
It's Thing.
It's Thing, right. Of course. That's one of my favorite things about the Lego games and like the Lego universe is like when they personify things like that, like with the Lego head. That's awesome.
I thought that was good. It gave me a chuckle when I saw it on Facebook. So. It's like, can you just get Thing? That's the one I want.
Right. Just.
It's my Lego set. It's Thing.
It's honestly the easiest Lego to come. Where you just take the hand off of any Lego kit and you've got Thing.
That is that's like singing Tequila at the karaoke bar.
Although is it yellow? Like is it Thing colored?
It's Thing colored.
Okay, so it's pale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Flesh.
I don't
know what they call it. Yeah, but yeah, that color.
That's pretty cute. I like it.
But
well played, Lego. Well played.
Thank you to Lana. She left me a nice little gift this morning.
Oh, what's going on there?
Yeah, I got a Bob Ross bobblehead.
It's a Bobble Ross.
Yeah, it's got sound. I haven't activated the sound yet.
I mean, you need to now.
I will, but it came with a little Bob Ross.
What? Aw, that's
so. I guess
cool.
one could say he's like painting.
Yeah,
if you want to create a scene. But if I let me pull that little tab down here. All right, tab is pulled.
That's how you know it's good. All right,
and then you hit the sayings here. And let's see what we got. I pulled the tab.
Did you pull the tab?
I did.
Too hard?
I don't know.
Let me see.
It's not wanting to do its thing.
Let's fiddle with this a bit. Oh, that's weird.
Oh, well. All right. He's better seen than not heard, apparently.
Apparently, yeah. I do like the attention to detail, though, because they worked in the open, flowery open shirt with the chest. Although I wish they would have worked in some chest hair.
A little few nuggets of hair. Yeah. Oh, well.
Aw.
Bummer.
Well, darn it.
Well, but I will put him in a pose scene up behind me with this painting. But then I also got some Robert Ross Happy Little Trees mints.
Robert Ross.
Yes.
Nice. Should be formal. Happy Little mints.
And also some Robert Ross playing cards.
I'm starting to think you're a bit of a themed.
I got a theme
person
here.
there. You have a bit of a theme going.
Well, you want to hear another icing on the quick cake that's completely unrelated?
Okay.
Literally seconds before the show, I get a text from a T-Beard, Tom's Beard. And it is a link. All of Bob's paintings combined to take you on a beautiful journey. I just got that little text at 7:02 in the a.m.
I'm starting to think it's just you don't want to tell anybody the thing that you're into.
Raining. No, I'm into it, and it's good. I like it. It's just it seems very weird.
You get pigeonholed.
On this day, I get all of that at one time.
Mm-hmm. There's a very Bob Ross.
It's like is that an omen? Is that a sign?
I think you're going to have yourself a happy little Tuesday.
I hope so. I hope that's I hope that's what all signs are indicating.
Mm-hmm.
But but thank you to Lana
awesome.
and Thomas too for sending me the link. But very cool. I will put them proudly on display. I'll try to recreate a Bob Ross paint scene behind me with that thing. And maybe because it gives me multiple paintings. It's like a little calendar, so you can go through and say, here's another Rocky scene here,
nice.
some more back here. Like I guess ocean scene's kind of classy right now. I'll go with that.
You need to get you a tiny little easel.
Yeah, exactly. Although size ratio here, you could
You could, but it needs to be raised a bit. Like I would say, you need to take your Happy Little Mint box and maybe prop it up on top of that.
Yeah, maybe.
Or the cards and the mints together would prop it up enough to where it would be about easel height.
Yeah, that's true.
I would think.
Yeah, maybe we can do let's see. We do this.
This is totally visual.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. See? Right there. Yep.
There we go.
Nailed it.
That's going to be our scene behind us.
Mm-hmm. One thing that
people pay us to do this, by the way.
That's true. One thing that's true about guys in general is we never stop being 8 years old and loving dioramas.
Yeah, yeah. I wish there was a facet of my job where I was supposed to, make a scene of like a volcano or a jungle scene or like a military battle recreation.
Well, that's the beauty of your background. you could literally just go nuts with your background.
Yeah, but I want credit. Like I want some kind of I want an A. Dang it, that's what I want.
Fair enough.
But let me give you the rundown for today's show. We're going to replay an interview this hour. Yesterday, the little tag stuck to my thing. Yesterday, we had Tracy Fry from the Roswell Public Library join us, give us an update. We're going to play that for you in just a few. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, we're scheduled to have Donna Oracion from Eastern New Mexico University Roswell join us. Of course, they're on Christmas break, so we'll see if she makes it by or not. I'm not sure. Around 8:45 or so, we're scheduled to have the folks from the Chaves County Extension Office give us an update on what they got going on. And then we don't have a guest scheduled at 9 o'clock hour, so I thought I'd replay our interview we had last week with Superintendent Brian Luck. So we'll play that about 9:15 or so.
Very good.
And, of course, we'll have all of your features, including the news of the local variety and the national variety. Don't forget, we're in the midst of your 12 Days of Christmas with Mannheim Steamroller.
Yes.
Play that feature for you in the 8 o'clock hour. Those are always fun. I've listened to them every year, so I kind of heard them a couple times. But I do like how they give you the origins of different aspects of Christmas, like the Christmas tree and why we celebrate here and what dates and why Christmas is on December 25th. And
I'm kind of a Mannheim nerd for stuff like that.
It's kind of neat little gee whiz information.
Oh, gee shucks.
Good to share around the water cooler.
One of my favorite parts about this time of year is it really is like, 'tis the season for Christmas parodies. I mean, and you're rife to find them. I've just in trying to kind of like build content for my other show. Bob Rivers is really, I mean, he's the man who saved Christmas, if you really want to break it down, because Bob Rivers is responsible for some of the greatest Christmas parodies of all time.
Okay.
I mean, if you've ever heard any of like walking around in women's underwear,
I missed that one.
Oh, that's great. The 12 Pains of Christmas, which is my daughter's current favorite Christmas song, which I love. She just walks around the house going, hangovers. But I discovered one literally just a few minutes ago, and I'm amazed this song hasn't been worked into the zeitgeist more.
Okay. Us and tuna?
What's it to you?
Oh, what's it to you?
What does it make? What's it to you? It's a whole song about mind your own business, set to the tune of Hallelujah. That's fantastic, and I'm amazed it hasn't been worked more into the public spectrum.
I kind of feel like it should. Yeah, I feel like that's like a Twitter. It should be a Twitter meme share every time. You know? Huh?
Yeah. Somebody needs to TikTok. What's it to you?
And it's kind of like an epiphany if people just, hey, what's it do? Oh, yeah, this is none of my business. I need to leave. That would be awesome if that actually happened.
Yeah, full-blown choir behind you, harmonic, symphonic, just breaks out every time you want somebody just to mind their own business.
Wouldn't it be great, though, like if someone responded positively to when you tell them that?
If they learned?
Like if they said, you're right.
You're right.
I am being too nosy.
Yeah, but that's not the American way.
No, or human way, for that matter. Yeah, I know. But wouldn't it be weird?
It would definitely.
I don't know how to react to that. I'd been like, oh, maybe I should try it sometime next time.
You're right. I should find moments.
Generally,
and they're like,
surrender.
Wait, what? Now?
I'll work on that. All right, it is 16 minutes after 7 o'clock. I'm going to give you the weather while it's still worth mentioning before it gets so cold that you're like, oh my gosh, please stop.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Generally fair and mild over the next couple of days, but we do have colder air that'll be dropping in from the northern Rockies by Thursday, cooling things off quite a bit for our area. Low 50s and a mix of sunshine and clouds today. Overnight, cloudy, and we'll be dropping into the mid-20s, and then we're looking at mid-50s with a sunny day coming up on Wednesday. Quite a bit cooler Thursday, sunny and upper 30s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 25 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 66%. Winds currently out of the west at 3 miles per hour. Mostly sunny today. Expect highs low 50s, 52 for a high. Winds will be out of the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear with an overnight low of 27 degrees. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, mostly sunny, 58 for a high. So a little bit warmer tomorrow, weirdly enough, with south winds 5 to 10, just based on the trends this week. That seems to buck the curve a little bit. Mostly clear tomorrow night with an overnight low of 32. Winds out of the southwest at around 5 miles per hour. That's good. They were calling, this is because we're calling for colder temps, and now that's making the Thursday a little colder too, it looks like, because I think they were saying 40s earlier on Thursday. Now it's windy and in the 30s. So Thursday, sunny, and a high of 33. Winds will be out of the northwest 10 to 15, later shifting to the northeast, increasing 15 to 20, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. Thursday night, looking at mostly clear skies, overnight low of 5 degrees. It's going to be freezing. And then Friday's going to be freezing as well, mostly sunny, 26 our high on Friday. And then Friday night, warming up overnight to a balmy 15 under partly cloudy skies. And then for your Christmas weekend, Christmas Eve, Saturday, sunny and 40. Christmas Day, Sunday, sunny and 54. So a little bit warmer for the Christmas weekend. But Thursday and to Friday, oh boy, howdy, it's going to be cold. Bundle up and take appropriate action. All right, it is 18 minutes after 7. We're going to get you into your Roswell Livestock Report, take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview we had yesterday with Tracy Fry from the Roswell Public Library. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 1,465 head of cattle sold on Monday on a steady to higher market with excellent buyer attendance compared to last week. Stocker calves sold 5 to 15 higher. Feeder cattle steady to 3 higher. Packer cows and bulls steady to $3 higher. 3 to 400 pound steers $245, $255. 3 to 400 pound heifers $212.50 to $225. 4 to 500 pound steers $229, $245. 4 to 500 pound heifers $195, $212.50. 5 to 600 pound steers $2, $229. 5 to 600 pound heifers $167.50, $195. 6 700 pound steers $172.50 to $2. 6 700 pound heifers $161, $167.50. 7 800 pound steers $157, $172.50. 7 800 pound heifers $148, $161. Packer cows $72 to $80.50. Canner and cutter cows $60 to $70. Packer bulls $85 to $93. Feeder bulls $75 to $80. The cow-calf pairs not well tested this week. Top half the bred cows $1,100 to $1,525 per head. We do appreciate all the business in 2022, and we'll talk to you on Monday morning, January the 9th, 2023. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Merry Christmas from the team at LGS Guns and Ammo. Now through Christmas Eve, stop by for the best stocking stuffers for the hunter or great outdoorsman in your life. Huge store-wide Christmas savings on accessories like knives and optics, targets, tracker backpacks, and ammo. And now through Christmas Eve, get 15% off Liberty safes and 10% off store-wide on all 45 caliber and 9mm pistols. And if you just don't know what to get, LGS has gift cards perfect for your Christmas stockings. LGS Guns and Ammo, Southeastern New Mexico's authority for guns and ammunition in Hobbs or Roswell, and at lgsguns.com.
Sure, you can inspect your own roof, get out that rickety ladder, crawl around up there and try to spot the problem until... Or you can call the experts at Do Right Roofing. Do Right Roofing has quality products for any type of roof. They can even install seamless gutters. Do Right Roofing will inspect your roof and give you a free estimate fast. Keep your feet on the ground. Call Do Right Roofing today.
575-623-2273. Let Do Right do your roof right.
Find them fast in names and numbers. For over 40 years, Sierra Blanca Motors here in Roswell have been providing locals with quality vehicles and are committed to providing you quality vehicles and service for many years to come. No sales gimmicks, no inflated pricing, just a quality pre-owned vehicle listed at retail pricing or less. Have a used vehicle to sell? Get top trade-in value or an amazing cash offer today. Let Danny or Jose provide you a great car buying experience. Call 575-622-7907 or stop by Sierra Blanca Motors at 720 South Main Street in Roswell. Se habla español.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Astronauts are not allowed to eat beans before they go into space because passing wind in a spacesuit damages them. The suits for the astronauts. Here's Mike Winters.
And joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Public Library, Tracy Fry back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
Good, good. You are you ready for Christmas?
As ready as I'm going to get.
You're going to get. You know, if it ain't done by now, it ain't going to get done.
Exactly.
So, I hear you. So, well, good news. Mm-hmm. If families still have some Christmas plotting and planning to do and maybe need to, I don't know, get the kids out from underfoot for a little bit, maybe the library can probably help you out a little bit with some of that.
Yes.
You know, and obviously if they're too young, you can't just drop them off and say, we'll see you when I see you.
No.
But, you know, if you're looking for things to keep the kids occupied during the holidays here, to keep them from, you know, getting into trouble or opening their Christmas presents before they should and doing all that stuff. You know, that's what my brother and I did when we were kids. Maybe that's just me. But yeah, the library's a great resource for families this holiday break here. So good deal. So where do we want to just start with the rundown here? Or?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, today, if you want to get them out of the house at 2 p.m., we're going to be showing the movie Home Alone.
Okay.
So 2
Which
p.m.
is a Christmas movie, by the way.
Oh, we're not going there again. Yeah, so at 2 p.m., come on down for Home Alone.
All right.
This week, we're going to have our regular story times on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursday.
Perfect. So if you don't, those are game on. So So maybe if you've never been to one because your kids are school age or something, come on out, bring them out to this week and get them to see, obviously middle schoolers and stuff. This is a little bit, but early elementary and preschool, that age group, perfect. Homeschool, obviously. So, but yeah, definitely enjoy story time. And as we've had Tracy on many times, and when they do the bilingual and
that's on Tuesdays.
Yeah, take your children to both. I don't care what their first language is. Make both, because when they're that age, they're going to absorb it, and they'll probably speak the second language much better than you ever could if you do that kind of thing. And I don't care who you are, where you come from, where you've been. The more languages and the more information you have in your pocket, it's going to come in handy at some point in your life. It just is.
Yes.
So equip your kids. Nothing wrong with that. And do it all in the guise of having fun and learning stuff. So,
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to be closed the 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th.
Okay, so that Friday through Monday. And so Thursday is their last day this week, and then they'll reopen next Tuesday.
Correct.
Got it. Okay.
And then on Tuesday next week, on the 27th, from 11 to 1, we're going to have board games and popcorn.
Okay.
And then Wednesday next week, from 11 to 1, we'll have Legos and popcorn.
Nice.
And then
don't step on the Legos. You'll never forget that experience.
Well, we have the big ones, too.
So they're a little easier to not get underfoot.
Well,
not saying it's impossible, but it's harder.
And then Thursday the 29th, from 11 to 1, we're going to have perla beads.
Okay.
So they're these little beads, and you can make like keychains or little figures.
Oh, okay.
And we iron them to melt them all together.
Okay. Is it kind of like a more modern Shrinky Dink kind of thing?
Probably. You can
remember those?
Yes,
remember
I
those
do.
Shrinky Dinks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You remember Shrinky Dinks, Kim? Yeah. I think that's a more modern version of that. You don't need the oven, I guess.
Right. It's little beads. So if you bring your younger child with you, you're going to have to help them a little bit.
Yeah. But I think like we used to, back in the day, we'd make like those little window
the clinger.
Yeah, not a dream catcher, but kind of like a stained glass little round thing. Yeah, those are pretty. I love doing those. So if you never did that with your kids or want to do that, come on out next week. What day again is that?
That's on Thursday the 29th.
So next Thursday.
Right, from 11 to 1.
Perfect. So come on out and bring the kids. And I imagine it might be a little nice little headspace for the parents, too, to come and enjoy and iron and focus on making the beads just right and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, perfect. Good deal.
And then on the 31st, we're open New Year's Eve. And we're going to have our noon Year's Eve party.
Yes, we're going to party it up like until 11:59.
Like it's 1999.
11:59 a.m. High noon, we're going to bed.
Yeah. Everybody get your little blanket. Yeah. So we're going to have a balloon drop, popcorn, pizza, music. It's going to be like a party.
Nice. So probably way more fun than your actual New Year's party that you'll have 12 hours later. 12 hours later, you're like, let's just go to bed.
So the party starts at 11:30.
Excellent.
And it's going to end by 12:30.
So bring the kids, bring the whole family.
It's a family event.
Yeah, bring the whole family. Even if you're like saying, well, now we don't have to celebrate at midnight. We got it done at noon. We can go to bed at 10 o'clock like normal people. So.
That's right. Like normal people. Okay, and then the library will be closed on January 1st and the 2nd, which is Sunday and Monday.
Gotcha. And then and reopen Tuesday.
Tuesday the 3rd.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So again, put this down. If you don't have the calendars, you can come out and get one. But make note, Thursday through Monday of this week into next week, the library will be closed.
Right.
And then it will also be closed on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Sunday and Monday.
Right.
Of the New Year's weekend.
Right.
So, very good. And reopen Tuesday.
Correct.
Perfect. Very good. And then, of course, the book drop-offs open all the time. So, So if you turn in your book those days when the library's closed, no biggie. You just slide to the book drop and go about your day.
Yeah, and it's in the alley, so you don't even have to get out of the car if you don't want to.
Yeah. Depends how long your arms are and how skilled you are. Sometimes, if you're too tall or too short, it doesn't.
Your arms aren't quite long enough. You got to get
or
up.
you got to go down, and it's like I got to open the door.
Yeah.
It's like ATMs, the drive-up ATMs. They kind of.
Yeah, I always have to get out of the car.
Which, by the way, why is there Braille on those? Do you ever notice?
No, I
A drive-up ATM has Braille on it. I mean, why? Why isn't it? I mean, granted, so, in theory, vision impaired could walk up to the thing.
That's probably
in theory,
it.
But I don't know. I just see that every time. I'm like, if I see a guy looking for this while their car, I'm going to be very scared. If they start feeling for stuff and they pulled up in their car, yeah, I'm calling.
Give him right away.
I'll catch the next ATM. But anyway, sorry, I got sidetracked. But definitely come on out. And of course, if you're holiday traveling, you know, if you're going to parts of the state here, you know, stock up on entertaining materials for the trip, whether it's, you know, in a plane or in a car or in a boat or wherever you get in there.
Right.
That way you can check out books or audio books or music or anything like that.
Right.
But don't forget the pass too that the library offers. You check out like a book, and it's through the New Mexico Tourism Department.
Right.
And basically, it's a pass that gets up to 6 people into various arts and exhibits throughout the state. There's about, I think, 20 altogether on the list.
Right.
They include like in Lincoln, if you go to Lincoln, you go to the courthouse there, it'll get you in for free up to 6 people there.
Right.
I know like some of the museums.
Alamogordo,
the Space Museum in Alamogordo.
They have Santa Fe, Albuquerque.
A lot of the art museums, and I believe like I want to say the Nuclear Museum is on that list too.
I don't remember if that's on the list.
Yeah, I feel like I remember seeing it, but don't quote me on that. I think the Museum of the Cowboy and Cruces, so the horse there is that is on that list as well. But basically, for free, you can get up to 6 people, and you check this pass out like a book.
Right.
You can only check it out for 7 days.
Right.
It's not renewable, and you can't do it online or nothing. You have to physically come to the library.
Right.
Go to the circulation desk and ask for the tourism pass, and they'll. And they give them out first come first serve. You can't reserve one or anything like that. You just and you get it for 7 days. So if you're leaving, you know, Friday, you might want to check back Thursday, and check it out that way.
We have plenty, so
so don't worry about like you don't have enough. It's unfortunately it doesn't get as utilized as one would think it would.
Right.
It's kind of a
I think that it's just forgotten.
Yeah, I think it was probably used a lot a year or two ago, and now people have kind of forgotten it's still there.
Right.
It's an ongoing thing, and I don't know about you, but anytime you take a family of 6 to any like just Lincoln, for instance, I think you're going to drop about $12 a person there. So that's $60, almost $70 right there just for your group.
Right.
I'm not a math wizard, but I could not spend $70 and find something fun to do with that and not spend it. You know what I'm saying? And that's so now you can use that and, you know, take everybody to lunch or go do some shopping in Lincoln with that or something, you know?
Right.
Or, you know, or if you're in Albuquerque or Santa Fe, they got enough places to get your money. You know, if you got free opportunities, take advantage of it.
Yes.
So, and especially with a family of 6 traveling or 3 or 4, I know they can get quite expensive. So if we could save you $50-$60 here or there every few, and you can use it
the trip, you know?
and you can use it all these places. So you don't, you know, it's not like you can use it just once in 7 days. You can use it as many places as you can get to, or you know, if you got, especially with the holidays around the corner and people traveling, you got family up in the Four Corners area or up Taos area or down over in Cruces. Go travel, take one of these passes with you. Maybe you can get some of their family that live there too, and you all go and see a museum there or see something for free.
Exactly.
Yeah. So definitely just come by the front desk, ask for it.
Right.
And obviously the only requirement is you have to have a library card in good standing.
Exactly.
And you're good to go, which you can get free of charge. So.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked on that and got right middle of the list. What else do we got coming up?
So in January on the 7th, which is the first Saturday, we have a chess club.
Okay.
And that's from 10 to 2.
And that's for all skill levels?
All skill levels.
So if you never played before,
all ages.
to you've been quite the expert and would love to play.
Right.
And come and that's the good thing about chess is, like, to be honest, if you've never played chess, it takes probably 10 minutes to learn the rules. The rules of the game are relatively simple. It's just these pieces, they move here, they can move, they can't move this way, they move this way.
Right.
The lifetime is in the strategy because there's so many different ways you can, you know, and then you get someone that plays forever, then it's like, okay, I can see what they're doing, I can counter with this, and it's the ultimate strategy game, and it's great for developing critical thinking skills.
Right.
So if you're trying to help your own kids develop some of that. I think chess is a great way to kind of spark that side of their brain a little bit and fire it up a little bit. So.
And they don't have to stay the entire 10 to 2. Like if they can only spend an hour, they're more than
whatever they're free for during that time period. Come on down. If you can be there from at 10, awesome. But if you can't be there till 1:30, no biggie.
Right.
I'd love to have you come out and a day with a little chess is better than a day with no chess, right?
Yes, sir.
Very good.
Okay.
Excellent. What else we got?
Okay. Also on that same day, January 7th, we're going to have a STEM activity, and it's electronics, make a mask that lights up.
Okay.
And that's from 11 to 1.
Perfect.
And then that Sunday, the 8th, we're going to have that Me and Billy the Kid program from the New Mexico Humanities Council.
Okay.
And we're going to have Ralph Estes come in, and he's going to take on the persona of Billy the Kid.
So he's doing the Chautauqua?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. And that's going to be at 2:30. And then that week is when we're going to start back up. Okay, the first week of January, we're not going to have story time. We're going to take a little break from that. So the 10th, January 10th on Tuesday, we're going to start back up story time, which will be the Mother Goose.
So your last story time will be this week, and then not again until the second week of January.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And so our story times will start up. Then on the 14th, which is Saturday, January 14th at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., we're going to have a tea party.
Okay.
And Malia, who is our Team Miss USA, is supposed to come over and help us.
She's going to be serving and talking about the etiquette of a tea party and what to do
more
at a
like
tea party.
Teaching us a few things.
Tea party etiquette.
There you go.
Awesome. So is that with the pinky and the...
Sort of. We have little cups.
There's a little formality to it.
A little formality.
Bit of pageantry that's involved.
There you go. And then on the 15th, so we're starting to have more programs on Sundays now.
Excellent.
Also. So on the 15th, we're going to have our first crochet class, and it's with a volunteer named Sabrina.
Oh, great.
And that Sunday at 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., we're going to have her. And
teaching people how to crochet.
Right, or if you're already doing a crochet,
club.
just come on over and crochet with her. And,
Are they going to do like maybe a group project or something? Is that kind of the plan?
Well, this will be the first time they're meeting with her.
We'll see.
So we'll see.
But possibly, depending on... Because I know that you could kind of, like quilting's, like with crochet, just because I've told 100 times my mom does it, it's kind of like the quilting where you could have multiple people if you're doing a big Afghan just working on different sections. And
they can do the squares, you know.
Yeah, or they're each working on their little squares that they put together. And then they can attach, Basically, you learn how to, in crocheting, if you learn how to make a pot holder, that's like the key to the rest of crocheting. Okay, you made your first pot, now make 50 more of those and put them together and you got an Afghan.
There you go. And they're like 50 more. Oh, wow.
Right.
Okay. So on Monday the 16th, we'll be closed because it's Martin Luther King Day.
Very good. So celebrate Martin. And that's a government holiday. I think all the other federal government and bank, everything else closed too. So the library will be as well.
Right.
Very good.
And then on Wednesday the 18th, we're at 3 o'clock, 4-H is going to come in, and they're going to have a little program.
Do their monthly presentation or 4-H activity.
They normally do a craft, and then they're talking about 4-H club to the participants.
If you want to learn about the in and outs of 4-H, come out to that meeting and or that craft activity. And and if I tell you this, if you think 4-H is just about showing animals at the fair, that's only scratching the surface. So you can learn much more about the 4-H program by coming out to one of their activities here.
Yes.
And they do it every month.
Yes, they normally come the third Wednesday at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
So.
Very good.
They're more than welcome to call the desk just to confirm the date.
Okay. So is that this? That would be...
Last week they came.
Yeah, that was last. Okay,
yes.
So they'll be back the third week in January,
which is the 18th.
Perfect. Okay.
And then on the 19th, we're going to have our book club, our adult book club, and we'll be reading Westwood Draft.
Yes. So check it out now if you're interested, and start reading, and then join us for the book discussion on that date. And then, do you have the next book for book club at the end of that one, or is there a little bit of time in between? So.
I have it available. You're more than welcome.
So you'll unveil the next one. Like when you get there, it's like, all right, our next book is, and then you present the book. So So
I kind of have it like so many months in advance.
Okay.
So that
way people have if
they want to read ahead, they're more than welcome.
So, or reread if it's a book you've already read before or something. But yeah. So again, tell the book again that is for this next upcoming book club.
It's titled Westwood Draft by Linda Rutledge. I believe that's how you pronounce her last name.
Okay.
And that's going to be on the Thursday, the 19th.
Okay.
At 1 o'clock.
Just kind of ballpark. Give a little just kind of the subject matter of this particular book.
Okay. Well, the last book we read was The Four Winds, which was dealing with the Dust Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is the Dust Bowl period of time also.
Okay.
And it's based, the book Westwood Draft is based on something that actually happened, but it's fiction, historical fiction.
Oh, gotcha.
These giraffes are brought in, they arrive in New York, and they're going to transport them across the United States to San Diego Zoo.
Okay.
And it's like this, it's the first woman zoo manager, director, whatever, is there. And
so it's almost got a little Lewis and Clark feel to it, like adventure and of this odd journey kind of thing.
Right, and it's one gentleman who's trying to get a driver to take it across, and this kid who's from Texas, but even though he's from Texas, he's still considered an Okie.
I got you. Well, that's a big deal in Texas, Oklahoma. If you're not part of either faction, then you don't know, but if you do, then you know.
Yeah. So it's just them, him picking up this kid. He's a young kid. He's not even 18, and they're going cross country with these giraffes.
Interesting.
And it's like all the characters they meet along the way.
Sounds like a fun little story, actually.
Yeah.
It's probably got your ups and downs, little tearjerker moments, and.
Well, I kept saying, please don't let anything happen to the giraffe.
Right.
Every time I get to a certain part, and I was like, okay.
I can't imagine because that'd just be mean to write a whole story to find out that the animals didn't make it.
I'm not going to say whether they make it or not. I was going through every time they came to a situation, I was like saying, please don't let anything happen to the giraffe.
Yeah, that ain't right.
It ain't right.
Ain't right. But that's the whole point of the book discussion, is to really talk about that stuff. And it sounds like this one will be a good one to evoke some good conversation. So pick up the book at the library. They have plenty of copies.
Yes.
And if you don't remember the name of the book, walk up to the library and say, I want to do the book club book. I heard it on the radio. Give me that book, and they'll help you right out with it.
Correct.
About the giraffes.
Yeah, the giraffes. Because I think they were the first giraffes to come to the United States.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Imagine that. First time you see one of those animals.
That's what was happening on the road. People would see them because they were all traveling because of the Dust Bowl.
Sure.
And they would say, look at that, it's giraffes.
Yeah. Something's wrong with that horse's neck.
Is that giraffe?
Yeah. What's wrong? Yeah, that's pretty cool. So that's an interesting one. So if you've never done a book club before, this might be a good time to start one and try one and give it a try out. And if you love to read, but you never really thought about doing a book club, which if you're never familiar with it, it's basically a group of people will read the book. All of y'all read the book, and then you sit down and kind of share your thoughts and experiences with the book. And you'll find that even though 10 people read the same book, they might get 10 different experiences from reading it based on their own personal lives.
Oh, yes.
And that's what's book club's all about. So come try it out if you've never done that. Very good. What else we got?
So we have gardening on the January 21st, which is a Saturday, with Drew Garnett.
Okay.
And
from the extension office. And,
exactly.
Not too far from the 4-H tree there.
Yeah, all in the same week.
That's
what can I say? And then we'll have a STEM activity also on that Saturday. Well, Drew Garnett is at 10 a.m. The STEM activity is at 11 to 1 p.m. on Saturday. And that one will be combine chemicals to make a photo called a atop.
Okay.
So
I don't know what that is.
Neither do I, but our STEM teacher will have.
I was told there's no science and math and radio, so I don't know that stuff. I'm not that smart.
I'm not going any further.
I can. I'm a wordsmith. You put numbers in science, and you find out I'm really not that smart. But
okay.
But I will take your word for it. So. Good deal.
And then on the 22nd Sunday, we're gonna have a craft, family craft. It's Be Kind bracelets that we're gonna create, and that's basically
very good.
That's going on for the month.
So please, if you have not done so, swing by the Roswell Public Library, pick up the calendars for December and January. They're available. And then you can put those up on your fridge and then plan it, because you're not going to remember everything we just talked about over the course of a month here. But that way you can kind of, sit down with your family and say, hey, let's pick some things to do at the library this week or this month. What do we got here? And let's do this and come in. And great news is, all the activities and things we're talking about at the library are free of charge.
Yes.
They don't cost you anything. They don't cost any small fees, no fees.
No.
The only requirement is if you're checking out books and materials is you have to get a library card, which is free to get too. And assuming you turn your books in and stuff on time, you're not going to pay for that either. So,
right.
Now, granted, life happens. You might have to drop a dime or two here, a quarter.
Yeah.
What's the going rate for a late book nowadays?
I think it's like 20 cents per day, but it's a grace period of.
Sure.
So if you look and your book is due yesterday, you're probably not going to pay a fine. You probably have a couple of days.
Yeah, you guys are going to hit them with a couple week fine if you're like, oh.
Right. I'm like, okay, now you need to bring that back.
Now it's serious, and you don't want to do that, but at the end of the day, your fine's $5.
Right.
But either way, well, my point is, this is all. And then, by the way, don't forget, if you go to the city's website, roswell-nm.gov, there is a tab for the Roswell Public Library. You click on that, and you can access all the free sources online as long as you have a library card in good standing with the Roswell Public Library. So if you need help with, say, tutoring for your kids, or if you're looking for download music and periodicals, magazines, things like that, all of that's available online without you even setting foot in the library.
Right.
You can even download audiobooks and things like that.
Right.
And
through our Libby app.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many different opportunities available to you free of charge through the library's website, and you don't actually set foot in the library. So, and of course, you want the old-fashioned way of doing libraries, going and checking out a book and reading it. We can do all that too, and got you covered. It's like, and half the fun is knowing that you want to read a book, but not knowing what you want to read next.
Right.
And you just pick, give yourself a good hour, at least, and just walk the shelves and see what strikes your fancy and what, maybe you have an idea. I want a mystery. I want an adventure. I want to, okay, well then go to those sections of the library. They're all pretty easy to navigate. If you have trouble, librarian can help you navigate through all that. They can relearn you the Dewey Decimal System and all that good stuff. If you're looking for the card catalog, you haven't been in a library in a while. You might. All that's done electronically now.
Right.
But please utilize it. Use this time as that time. If you've got a trip planned or the holidays here, and you're going to have a lot of downtime here and there, and grab a book and check it out and give it a chance. I'm telling you, that's it's your thing. You do it for nobody but you, and it's all for you. And the story's just for you. You don't have someone telling you what to think one way or another about the opinion of this. It's all yours, and you do with it what you want. And
and
in a world we live in nowadays where everyone loves to tell you how to do things and where to do with it, it's kind of nice to have your own little me time for you to read what you want, think what you want, do what you want.
Exactly.
So, and then don't forget, if you have any questions or anything, you can always call the library's main number, and staff will be happy to answer any questions, things like that. Don't forget, if you're a social media user, particularly Facebook or Instagram, you can like and follow the Roswell Public Library through that, and that's kind of your digital version of the calendar. You can stay up to date every time these events come up. They put the reminders out, say, don't forget, today's story time, or don't forget tonight's the what's going on here, and that way you can stay. And of course, if you've got questions or want information, obviously if anything happens at the library, delays, closures due to weather, that's the first place they post all that stuff too. So it's just good place to like and follow for information. And of course, if you're old school, come by and grab the calendars and get the magnets and put it on the fridge and circle and X through the things you want to do and don't do. So. Good deal. What's the phone number if anybody has any questions?
Okay, the phone number is 575-622-7101.
Very good. Is there anything we missed? Anything we wanted to mention that
I think we're good.
I got sidetracked on, or Bruce Willis messed up or something like that?
No, we didn't really talk about Bruce Willis.
No, I didn't. I did not this time. It was more Bruce before.
Yes.
This is post-Bruce.
Post-Bruce. Okay.
Well, Tracy, as always, appreciate the visits. Hope you and your family have a delightful Christmas holiday
Same
here.
To you.
And I guess next time I'll see you, you'll be in the future, 2023.
Next year.
That's right. Be a year away.
Yeah.
And then guess what? In January, I'm going to make the joke, man, you've aged well. You look great. You look the same as you did last year when I saw you. I'll do that joke, and everyone will groan and laugh, but it's my job. Sorry. Thank you, Tracy.
You're welcome.
We'll see you next time. All right, it is 9:52.
Your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. We begin with a traffic alert for Roswell drivers. Pavement work is beginning along West 12th Street between North Washington Avenue and North Missouri Avenue. A statement from the city says the work will begin Wednesday and last through Friday of this week. The section of road will be closed to most traffic during working hours these days, but access will be maintained for residents and businesses in the area. New Mexico will begin offering some students free virtual tutoring for math, science, and other subjects. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham announcing the online tutoring program as part of the state's efforts to invest in education. The tutoring will be for students between pre-K and 8th grade at Title I schools, including tribally controlled schools. It'll be available before, after, or during school hours. Participating students will be able to receive up to 20 hours of tutoring. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
It happens to us all. Someone mentions they need a vacation or a new flat screen or a car. Suddenly, our phones are bombarded by ads for vacations, TVs, and cars. Once and for all, is the phone listening? I'm Kim Commando, brought to you by T-Mobile. Their advanced network now goes farther than ever before. Visit T-Mobile.com/55 today. The answer is both yes and no. It's not listening to your phone calls. No one is actively listening. But, and this is a big but, all smartphones have built-in speech recognition. That's why you can summon Siri or Alexa. Algorithms work at deciphering the last seconds of everything you say. They trigger ads based on those seconds. There's more. When you installed an app, you could have given it access to your mic, and that app is selling your recordings. Check your app's permissions and deny access to that microphone. So is your phone listening? Not really. But all the time, it's collecting data. How'd you like to win a $500 Amazon gift card? Enter to win right now at commando.com/win. What do you do when something just doesn't work? You Google it. Too often, that's a complete waste of time. You need someone to hold your hand. Maybe you're lucky enough to have someone to call for help or come over. But let's face it, they're too busy for you. Finding tech support online is risky. That's why I partner with top tech experts to give you 24/7 live support that you can trust. They'll fix your problems or there's no charge. I'm so proud to tell you about GetKimsHelp.com. Whether it's a problem with your Wi-Fi, printer, smartphone, computer, TV, smart speaker, or another connected device, the experts at GetKimsHelp.com fix most issues in 10 minutes or less. High-tech troubleshooting tools like virtual house calls let them resolve even the most complex issues quickly. So stop Googling. Have your problem solved right now. Visit GetKimsHelp.com. It's an affordable way to fix problems with the help from experts who you can trust. GetKimsHelp.com. GetKimsHelp.com.
Meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Generally fair and mild over the next couple of days, but we do have colder air that'll be dropping in from the northern Rockies by Thursday, cooling things off quite a bit for our area. Low 50s and a mix of sunshine and clouds today. Overnight, cloudy, and we'll be dropping into the mid-20s, and then we're looking at mid-50s with a sunny day coming up on Wednesday. Quite a bit cooler Thursday, sunny and upper 30s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. How about we catch you up with some girls basketball? Roswell's now 4-2 after whooping up on Chaparral on the road on Saturday by the score of 64-12. Roswell will face considerably stiffer competition today at the Clovis Holiday Tournament in a 10 a.m. game. It's Sandia 6-0 presenting a challenge for the Lady Coyotes. Meanwhile, Dexter's going to be at that same tournament. They're going to take on the host Clovis Wildcats at 8:15 tonight. Dexter's last game was a 52-24 loss on Friday to Ruidoso. Also on Friday, Reserve beats Hagerman by a score of 61-49. That was at the Smoky Bear tournament in Capitan. And Gateway Christian picks up its second victory of the season. The Warriors defeat Hondo 33-30. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. Wall Street closed lower on Monday for a fourth straight session, with NASDAQ leading declines as investors shield away from riskier bets, worried the Federal Reserve's tightening campaign could push the U.S. economy into a recession. U.S. auto safety regulators confirmed a fifth Takata airbag inflator crash death in 2022 and reiterated urgent calls for owners to get repairs. Over the last decade, more than 67 million Takata airbag inflators have been recalled in the United States, and more than 100 million worldwide, in the biggest auto safety callback in history. Americans may be worried about inflation, but they're still paying the price for a Christmas tree. Retailers from Home Depot and Lowe's to the mom and pop operations raise their prices on trees, but people are still buying them. The cost of an average-sized tree from the local Rotary Club in South Portland, Maine is $70. That's $5 more than last year. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Traditionally, the end of the year is the best time to buy a new vehicle. Well, here at the Tailgate Nation, we're not tinkering with a great tradition like that. Right now at Roswell Ford, we have the best inventory and the best prices we've seen in a long time. Lots and lots of clean late model cars and trucks ready to carry your family through the coming year and many years to come. That's because we put every pre-owned vehicle through a rigorous 139-point inspection and give you a 3-day money-back guarantee so you can bring it back if it turns out you don't like it. And we're always looking for more really nice vehicles to sell, so if you have one, please bring it by for an on-the-spot offer. Roswell Ford is also getting regular shipments of new Ford cars, trucks, crossovers, and SUVs with some impressive factory incentives. But they won't last long, so you better move fast. It's time for a new vehicle, and it just happens to be the very best time to buy. So hurry in to Roswell Ford and join the Tailgate Nation.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to 2 amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
Here to help you breathe easy. That's what you can expect from Artesia General Hospital's cardiopulmonary and respiratory therapy team, both literally and figuratively. From innovative treatments for lung cancer and COVID-19 to management for everyday breathing problems like asthma and bronchitis, our care for acute and chronic conditions is unmatched in Southeast New Mexico, and the compassion of our caregivers offers peace of mind with each visit. Get the help you need for chronic respiratory conditions. Call 575-748-3333 or visit artesiageneral.com/respiratory.
Happiness isn't about getting what you want all the time. It's about loving what you have and being grateful for it. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smitherman for The Joy of Marriage.
As people, we can get so focused on what we don't have, we don't appreciate what we do have. We can make ourselves miserable, angry, and even depressed by focusing our thoughts and words on the negative. Take a look around and find something to be grateful for that your spouse does. It will change your attitude in your marriage.
1 Thessalonians 5:18 says, "No matter what happens, always be thankful, for this is God's will for you who belong to Christ Jesus."
Take it from me, I was such a negative person, but by renewing my mind with God's Word and learning to be thankful, it changed my life and greatly impacted my marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Pressure Services LLC in Artesia has immediate openings for experienced vacuum truck, kill truck, and hydrovac operators. Operators must hold a Class A CDL or Class D CDL, at least 2 years of experience, and be at least 25 years of age. All positions require a clean driving record and must be able to pass a DOT drug and alcohol screen. Pressure Services offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contributions toward health benefits. Please apply in person at 402 West Main in Artesia, inside the Age Safety Facility. Equal Opportunity Employer.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. China has more English speakers than the United States. They have more Chinese speakers, too. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is closing in on 7:58. Stay tuned next hour, about 8:15 or so. Donna Oracion with Eastern New Mexico University Roswell scheduled to join us. And about 8:45 or so, the folks from the Chavez County Extension Office scheduled to join us. So we'll get updates from them next hour. Hey, don't forget, you can still donate blood in 2022 here in Roswell. On Thursday, December 22nd, Vitalant will be hosting a blood drive at the Vitalant office, number 3 Grand Avenue Plaza, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Everyone that donates during that event will get a Holiday Heroes t-shirt. If you're in Carlsbad on Tuesday, December 27th, they're going to be at Western Commerce Bank from 1 to 5 p.m. in Carlsbad. And then one more time in Roswell, also on Thursday, Thursday, December 29th, they're going to be back at the Vitalant office, number 3 Grand Avenue Plaza, from 9 to noon. So Roswell this Thursday, the 22nd, Carlsbad next Tuesday, the 27th, and next Thursday, the 29th, back here in Roswell. To get an appointment for any of those blood drives, just reach out by calling 575-840-8178. Again, 575-840-8178. And they'll get you scheduled and then give you the link to go to the website if you want to pre-register and save you a little time as well. And that way you can give the gift of life this holiday season and donate blood. All right, Town Hall News up next. We'll be back on the other side. Do not go away.
Your home for Coast to Coast AM in Roswell, 106.5, Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. A pandemic-era asylum restriction hangs in the balance following intervention by the Supreme Court.
The border policy known as Title 42 is set to expire tomorrow, and conservative-leaning states warned that a massive influx of migrants would overwhelm law enforcement and healthcare services. Chief Justice John Roberts granted a temporary stay, giving the Biden administration until 5 p.m. Eastern today to respond. The Department of Homeland Security is responsible for enforcing border security, and the White House says it has been surging resources to the southern border. Greg Clugston, Washington.
In a move that former President Trump has denounced as blatantly political, the Democrat-controlled House January 6 committee urging the Justice Department to pursue criminal charges against Mr. Trump and some of his associates. And some of the former president's personal financial information may soon be made public.
The House Ways and Means Committee is expected to vote today whether to publicly release former President Trump's tax returns. If the Democrat-controlled committee moves forward with the plans to release Trump's tax returns, it's unclear how quickly that would happen. The Supreme Court last month cleared the way for the Treasury Department to send the returns to Congress.
That's correspondent Donna Warder. Keep this in mind if you have travel plans. Heavy snow, possible blizzard conditions in the forecast for a large part of the country ahead of the Christmas weekend. The Midwest and the Great Lakes region in the bullseye for heavy snow and high winds. Extreme cold is also in the offing. Bone-chilling cold may extend to the deep south. Forecasters say that parts of the east that do not get snow can look forward to torrential rain. The rainfall measured in inches. On Wall Street right now, the Dow 60 points higher. The Nasdaq is down 8 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Attention! This is a special alert for all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an overpriced auto warranty or no warranty coverage at all. Due to the increase of new and used car prices, repair costs, and the price of gas, people are keeping their cars longer than ever, which is why CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on covered auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can save thousands for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. You could save thousands on future auto repairs. Our specialists are standing by for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-279-7495. Vehicle Protection Plan pricing is at an all-time low. Plus, drivers who purchase this coverage today will receive rental car options, free roadside assistance, and free towing. Call 800-279-7495 now for your free quick quote. That's 800-279-7495. What do you have to lose? Call 800-279-7495. Again, 800-279-7495.
Citing a threat from without, Russian President Putin ordering stepped-up border security.
President Putin's remarks for Security Services Day come at a time when the government is increasingly clamping down on dissenting voices, including those that condemn Moscow's war in Ukraine. He was uncompromising. He said the security services should quickly thwart any attempt to violate Russia's borders, combat risks coming from abroad, and identify traitors and saboteurs. He also said the special services should ensure the safety of people living in the parts of Ukraine that Moscow claims as its own. In some of these areas, most notably Kherson, Russia has recently suffered significant military reverses.
The BBC's Charles Haviland. A German court has convicted a 97-year-old woman of being an accessory to murder for her role as a secretary to the SS commander of the Nazis' Stutthof concentration camp during World War II. Townhall.com. Want to email your doctor? May be charged to that.
The next time you message your doctor to ask about a pesky cough or an itchy rash, you may want to check your bank account first. You could get a bill for the question. Hospital systems around the country are rolling out fees for some messages that patients send to physicians who they say are spending an increasing amount of time poring over online queries, some so complex they require the level of medical expertise normally dispensed during an office visit. Major hospital systems in Illinois, Ohio, and California are among those who have rolled out the charges over the last year. Rhonda Rockster reporting.
Americans may be cutting back on spending in some areas this holiday season, but they are not scrimping on Christmas trees. Retailers from Home Depot and Lowe's to mom and pop operations have hiked their prices, but they report people are still lining up to buy that beloved symbol of the Christmas season. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday.
It's the psychedelic hour.
It is. Getting a little trippy on the monitor here in the studio. As it's
I just like to, kick on down the cobblestones and waste the day and feel groovy.
I feel like it's an ABC Saturday morning cartoon vignette thing situation there.
It's, I mean, the colors are fantastic.
They're good.
It's thoroughly immersive.
Yeah, it's Great Space Coaster-esque.
By the way, speaking of thoroughly immersive, I haven't seen it, and I'm probably not going to see it.
Okay.
The new Avatar movie.
Oh yeah, the water
The Way
one.
of Water or whatever. People are saying it's.
Is it out yet?
It's out. Yeah, it's out. The only thing is, Everybody's saying it's not what they expected. It's not what it's cracked up to be. Here's the problem. This movie, and James Cameron has basically said this. This movie was designed to be seen in IMAX, 4K, like the highest frame rate possible.
Like the last one.
Basically.
They were selling it that way last time.
And you can go to your local theater and watch it in 3D, and I'm sure you can have a relatively immersive experience. But this movie, it's not going to be what it's supposed to be for you, or to get all you as excited as Cameron and his cronies are.
It's a 2-hour ride as opposed to a...
No. It's like 3 and some change.
3-hour ride?
Yeah, it's like 3 and some change. Oh, and... because this movie underperformed, I was just watching a thing about this, in about... I guess like sometime next year, sometime in 2023, they're going to re-release this in theaters.
Oh, jeez.
As the director's cut.
Are they going to add more garbage to it?
As I understand it, it's over 9 hours long.
I'm blaming. You know what? There's a connection here, and I'm gonna say it. Now, I love this actor. He's a great actor.
Okay.
But I'm blaming him. An actor by the name of Stephen Lang.
Stephen Lang.
Stephen Lang was in the first Avatar.
Okay.
He was the commander. The guy, he ends up, sorry, spoiler alert, not making it in the end of the movie.
I never saw the original Avatar.
He's the commander. He's the main bad dude in the first one. He's back in the second one. I don't know how because he died in the first one, but I'm guessing they're going to make him a robot or something.
Okay.
Watch. But anyway, Stephen Lang has also been in other... you know what? The role that most people would know him for, he plays one Ike Clanton in Tombstone.
Okay.
He's the actor that plays Ike Clanton.
You know an awful lot about Stephen Lang.
Because I'm a fan of his work. But that's why it troubles me to say this, but I think it's Stephen Lang's fault this thing's 4 hours long.
Really?
Because I think he only does 3 hour, 4 hour. Tombstone, he had no choice because big actors. But he was also General Pickett in the Gettysburg movie.
Holy crap.
Which is 4 hours
that's
long.
Another super long cut.
And if that doesn't get you, he was also Stonewall Jackson in Gods and Generals.
This dude is right up your alley. Now I'm starting to understand why you're so into Stephen Lang's work. Okay, I'm like, okay, Gettysburg, Gods and Generals, Tombstone.
Yeah.
Wow. I think you're the first person that's ever mentioned anybody from the original Avatar, because they're like I watched the thing. It was like, have you seen the original Avatar? And they're like, yeah, of course. And they're like, name one character from the movie.
The blue chick,
right?
And Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing on that one. Sorry.
Yeah, the blue chick and Sigourney Weaver. That's what. But yeah. So he's notorious. Now here's the thing: and this is what triggered it. The fact that you said they're going to director's cut this sucker and make it a 9 hour.
Over 9 hours.
Well, Gods and Generals was a huge flop in the box office. Ted Turner got his lunch eaten on this one. Like the Gettysburg did all right. It got, it wasn't Titanic, but it held its own it was enough to warrant a sequel. Those three. Okay, so that Gettysburg is based off a book called The Killer Angels by Michael Shahara. He's a Pulitzer Prize winning author.
Okay,
I believe he won the author for Killer Angels.
Okay,
well, his son kind of picked up the mantle and wrote prequels and sequels to Killer Angels. Gods and Generals was the Civil War leading up to the Battle of Gettysburg. Then he wrote another book called The Last Full Measure, which covered all the battles after Gettysburg. Now, if you've seen Gettysburg, that kind of follows, Lee and Longstreet and Colonel Chamberlain with the 20th Maine. Well, Gods and Generals follows kind of the same characters up pre-war, except for the guy that plays Pickett, Stephen Lang, doesn't play Pickett in the second movie because Pickett's not anything of note in Gods and Generals.
Okay.
Stonewall Jackson is. and Stonewall Jackson's no longer with us by the time Gettysburg happens. He was killed in Chancellorsville.
So they
the spring before
changed it out. So he played both.
So he played, but Gods and Generals. Gettysburg is a 4-hour and 15-minute movie, and it covers one 3-day battle.
It was told in real time.
Pretty
much. Okay.
But Gods and Generals covers the first 2.5 years of the war. It's 3 hours and a half.
That's not enough.
Oh. Well, what I've heard, allegedly, what the plan was, like in Gods and Generals, they eliminate the entire Battle of Gettysburg in the movie. I mean, not Gettysburg, Antietam in the movie. And that's kind of an important battle, and it's in the book, and they cover it all in the book. They just leave that out of the movie. I'm guessing they filmed all that because out there somewhere is what's called a 6-hour version of this movie.
That's insane.
But here's the thing. Gettysburg was good. The dialogue was good. And the books are good. The Shahara books, his son and Michael, they're good. But to try to crowbar 2.5 years of war in a 3.5-hour movie, it was just a nightmare.
Right.
And obviously, if Gods in General would have done well, they were going to do Last Full Measure and cover but it's Jeff Daniels plays Chamberlain in Gettysburg, and he also is in Gods and Generals. And he would have played Chamberlain. And if that's a fascinating character, Joshua Chamberlain. He's the colonel in Gettysburg of the 20th Maine. His on the day 2 of the battle, and without getting too nerdy and into the weeds here, but his regiment was the extreme left flank of the Union line at day 2 of Gettysburg. If they would have caved in, the entire Union line would have collapsed.
Oh, wow.
So they had to hold it to the last. And he's like, the last what? Last bullet, last man, what are you talking? And he ends up using all of his bullets, fighting off wave after wave of rebels coming up the Little Round Top.
The Zap Brannigan approach?
Yes. And then he got to a point where they're out of ammo. So he charges them. He charges, and it scares the living nightmare out of and they all surrender, and they win and hold the hill. But he literally, saved the day. But prior to that, he was involved in several battles in Fredericksburg and things like that. And he goes on to become a general later and takes a role in Appomattox and various. He goes on to be governor of Maine. He ends up dying of his wounds from Gettysburg, ironically enough, in 1919 or something.
Oh, wow.
They caught up with him finally then. But yeah,
that's long life for a.
But what's fascinating about Chamberlain was he wasn't a West Pointer. He was a scholar. He was actually a professor at Bowdoin College in Maine. He taught philosophy and literature and things like that. And when the Civil War broke out, he enlisted and signed up as an officer, and he was actually the number 2 of the 20th Maine. And then shortly before Gettysburg, the colonel got either promoted or killed. I don't remember which. And Chamberlain ended up taking over the regiment, and Gettysburg was his first battle. And it just so happened that the 20th Maine was also there along with I can't remember the other Maine regiment there, but it turns out the other Maine regiment that showed up at Gettysburg, their term of enlistment was ending that day.
Oh, wow.
And they were like, we're leaving. And they're like, no, you're not. We got a battle here. So he ended up keeping a bunch of them staying and fighting for the 20th Maine, which turned out to help on day 2 of Little Round Top there. But anyway, it's a fascinating story, but I got way sidetracked. My point is Stephen Lang caused Avatar to be a 4-hour movie.
I don't know where I went there just now, but that was something. That was a journey.
This is why I'm a radio show host. Welcome to my head.
That's amazing.
Welcome to my head.
So I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm not sure if I'm going to see the next Avatar.
I will watch it, but not at the theater.
That's the thing, though. What's the point of watching it on HBO Max?
To say I saw it.
Yeah.
Because I don't care about... I'm half blind anyway, so it doesn't matter. You can put the most amazing CGI in front of me. It kind of washes on me. So...
I just don't know if anybody that's watched the Avatar movies for the plot.
I didn't like the first one. I came out of that movie. I went and saw it in the theater. I saw it in 3D and the whole job. And it was 3 hours of my life. I'm like, and I've seen it once or twice, on cable since then. But it's just not a good movie. It's kind of boring.
Right.
Yes, visually stunning. I rode the ride in Disney World. It was amazing.
That's what people are saying this new movie is like. It's a ride. If you see it in 4K, IMAX, like the whole shebang bang.
The ride's great because you sit on these bike-like things and you're pretending to ride those pterodactyl bird things or whatever they're called them. And so you sit there and you're you've got a screen like inches from your face and that thing's moving around and you get a little vertigo if you're not paying attention. If you kind of don't realize, all right, put your feet on the floor. All right. But for a minute, you can get lost in it. I had to wait 2 hours to ride the stupid ride, but it was neat. Mm-hmm. And it was way better than the movie.
Fair enough.
I'd rather wait 2 hours for a 5-minute ride, and I had a better time than sitting through the first Avatar.
Wait, you spent pretty much the same amount of time for, generally speaking, the same experience.
Exactly. So, will I see it? Probably. I'll eventually show up when it shows up on cable or whatever. I'll watch it. But am I going to go to the theater?
They're supposed to do 3 more of these, too.
Yeah. Well,
I guess it depends on how this one does, but
considering it's been 15, 20 years between them?
13, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to be old or dead by the time the next one comes out, so I don't care.
Get ready for The Way of the Earth coming in 2030.
I'll be blind or dead by the time the next one comes out, so it doesn't really matter there. So, is our guest here by chance? Very good. All right, our guest is here, so let's do this. I'll shut up about Avatar, and let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Generally fair and mild over the next couple of days, but we do have colder air that'll be dropping in from the northern Rockies by Thursday, cooling things off quite a bit for our area. Low 50s and a mix of sunshine and clouds today. Overnight, cloudy, and we'll be dropping into the mid-20s, and then we're looking at mid-50s with a sunny day coming up on Wednesday. Quite a bit cooler Thursday, sunny and upper 30s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 30 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 61%. Winds are calm at the moment. Increasing clouds, but enjoy today because it will be warmer than it certainly will be for the end of the week. 52 for a high today with winds out of the north 5 to 10. Mostly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 27. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, mostly sunny. 58 for a high tomorrow. It's actually warmer tomorrow, which is kind of weird because what happens next doesn't line up with that. Winds out of the south 5 to 10. Wednesday night, mostly clear, overnight low of 32. And then there's Thursday and Friday. Thursday, sunny. That's the good news. Sunny. The rest, not so much. High of 33. Our high is 33 on Thursday. Winds will be out of the north 10 to 15 early, 15 to 20 later in the day, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. So not only is it going to be cold, it's going to be windy. Thursday night, hold on to your butts. Mostly clear, overnight low of 5. Not 25, not even 15. 5. 5, yes. 5 our overnight low Thursday night. Friday, warming up to a balmy 25. Yeah, our high is 25 on Friday under mostly sunny skies. Friday night, it's going to feel like warm compared to the night before. Partly cloudy, 15 for an overnight low. And then it warms up for a little bit for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Christmas Eve on Saturday, sunny skies, high of 40. Christmas Day, sunny and 54. So just Thursday and Friday is the real, put it this way. When it's 40 on Saturday, you're going to be like, hey, it's nice out. So look at it that way. All right, it is 8:21. We're going to take a 4-minute break, and then Donna Oracion with the NMUR is going to join us on the other side. Don't go away.
I'm Chip Davis of Mannheim Steamroller. At our home in Nebraska, we really love to decorate our Christmas tree. German immigrants brought the first Christmas trees to America. President Grover Cleveland brought the first illuminated tree to the White House lawn in 1895. Mannheim Steamroller and I have been part of that lighting ceremony twice now. What a great honor it was. But America's official Christmas tree isn't in Washington. It's actually a giant sequoia in California, growing at Kings Canyon National Park. It's estimated to be over 3,500 years old, older than Christmas itself. which, by the way, is only 5 days away now. And I'm Chip Davis of Mannheim Steamroller.
Brought to you by Epson. Add the Epson EcoTank printer to your holiday shopping list so you can fill and chill. Available at participating retailers and Epson.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to 2 amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now, I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
At Roswell Honda, they want to earn your trust, then earn your business. Whether it's sales or service, their Spanish-speaking sales reps and service department techs will take great care of you. They have the largest selection of trusted pre-owned vehicles in the state, lower payments, and dependable vehicles. And if you need service, think Roswell Honda. With their multi-point inspection, you and your family can sleep well knowing your vehicle is ready for whatever the road of life throws your way. At Roswell Honda, they want to earn your business. 2177 West 2nd.
The numbers don't lie. Crime is up in southeastern New Mexico. In 2021, Roswell had almost 40 crimes per 1,000, including larceny, assault battery, burglary, motor vehicle theft, robbery, and homicide. These days, the best defense you can get is having a locally owned company install the best security system available. That's Xena Security Services. They offer real security solutions for your home and business. When it comes to your safety, you need a locally owned, locally minded security company at your defense. Call Xena Security Services today. 575-626-3521. 575-626-3521.
The best burrito in the game just got a brand new location. Burritos and More, now open at 2506 North Main, across from Goodwill in Roswell. So what makes Burritos and More the best burrito in the game? It's simple. The freshest ingredients, homemade tortillas, and a huge menu chock full of all your breakfast and lunch favorites. Plus, enchiladas, fajitas, quesadillas, combo platters, and so much more. Open Monday through Saturday, 6 to 2 at 127 South Richardson and at their brand new location, 2506 North Main, across from Goodwill in Roswell. Burritos and More, the best burrito in the game.
Has the cost of health insurance kept you from enjoying the peace of mind knowing you and your family are covered for unexpected medical issues? Then we have great news just for you. Quality health insurance is more affordable than ever, thanks to federal and now state-funded financial assistance. Most uninsured New Mexicans will qualify for lower out-of-pocket costs than ever before. Let the friendly and knowledgeable team at Be Well NM guide you through the process to help you find out how little you can pay for quality, name-brand health insurance. And our services are free. Visit BeWellNM.com today.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 47.2% of all statistics are made up on the spot. Is this true? I'd say chances are about 50%. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 25 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell, Donna Oracion back with us. Good morning.
Good morning. Merry almost Christmas.
Merry almost Christmas and happy post-Thanksgiving.
Happy post-Thanksgiving. Yes. And early New Year.
That's right. Well, the campus of Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell, is in the midst of their holiday break right now.
Almost.
Not quite.
Yet.
They're still taking a few more finals this week?
Well, the students are gone.
Students are done, but
campus,
staff are still...
Yeah, we're still plugging away out there.
Kind of doing sign-ups and things for the 2023 spring semester here.
So, we're open through Thursday, the 22nd, at 5:30.
Okay.
And then we close for winter break all the way through January 2nd.
So if you want to register for spring or
talk to anybody in person.
Yeah. Or get any kind of work done, get financial aid or something. Talk about, curriculum, any of that kind of stuff. Get this today and tomorrow through Thursday are good days.
Yes.
After Thursday, though, they will be closed until 2023 for the holidays.
Right. So we'll reopen January 3rd, the Tuesday. Good. So But again, everything is available online that you can register and apply and make an appointment with an advisor, that sort of thing. But if you want to speak to somebody in person, as you say, we will have that winter break closure. So we want to make sure everybody's aware.
You're probably okay if you're a returning student and it's kind of old hat for you to schedule for classes and your experience at this point. You can do it online anytime.
Yes.
But like you said, if your first semester is going to be here in the spring, or maybe you're just taking one or two classes and you need to enroll, you haven't enrolled yet.
Right, or if you have a hold on your account or for financial non-payment or something like that.
All the different reasons why you need to. And then, and of course, if you're wanting to talk financial aid and that stuff, really every student should be talking to the folks in the financial aid office.
They should.
I don't care if you're how affluent or broke you are. I think every person should go in there and apply for as much free money as you can get to help pay for your education.
And we've sent out information to students about all of the scholarships and we talk about this all the time, but our foundation has numerous scholarships that we award. This past fall we awarded over $40,000 in scholarships. So
thank you for all those folks playing golf and doing all those fundraising events that you guys do. Yes, this is what it's for.
And the people that have named scholarships in memory of somebody or in honor of somebody. And so if you look on the website, go to the financial aid and the scholarship tab, you will see all the list of scholarships. The foundation's scholarships have a deadline of February 10th.
Okay.
So there's still plenty of time.
But over the Christmas break, you can take care of get your prerequisites done, all the requirements.
Yeah. So, and they all have, various requirements. A lot of them do require the FAFSA, which is the application for federal student aid.
That's almost a given for any.
Yeah, which is kind of a standard thing. It just kind of helps to set your level of need and what you can contribute and what you're eligible for, that sort of thing.
It's kind of it's like that. It's your foot in the door for all things scholarships. Anybody that's willing to offer scholarships, they're going to want to see that FAFSA form. So if you have not filled one out, that's probably step one. Get that.
It is, and if a lot of some of the scholarships are for a particular program. Some are for health education. For example, the desk and derrick that I'm just looking at now is for career tech program. So if it's welding, occupational safety, automotive, commercial driver's license. So if you have a particular field of interest, then you can find a scholarship that fits that. Some are just basically open. They're open to anyone.
And pretty much all of those career fields, they're literally waiting to hire people out of the classrooms of the college to work at various automotive tech, if various one of the here or welders. I mean, welders write their own ticket once they get their same with CDLs at this point.
Yes,
it really
always looking for drivers.
If you have no problem finding work and earning, your earning potential really is pretty good.
Exactly.
Upon completion of one of these courses.
Right. And then, of course, there's a lot of other institutional scholarships, technical training scholarships, displaced worker, teacher preparation, grow your own teachers. So, of course, teachers are very much in demand and in need as well. So if that's something you're interested in, a lot of civic clubs, Altrusa, we have a Crumlin Group Scholarship, Susie Van Winkle Memorial Scholarship. So just so many to choose from. And one of those scholarships is bound to fit you.
Absolutely.
So we're really... and a lot of these scholarships, they'll have one applicant or two applicants. And some of them, are great and they're awarded. Others, you think, wow, if there had been somebody else, they probably would have received this scholarship. So we hold it and then it rolls over to the next semester. Well, it's sad to see that.
When it comes to like financial aid and everything out, the philosophy that works best is throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. That's the mindset. It's like, even if you have a remote chance of getting a scholarship, if you qualify for one aspect, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Throw in an application. Why not? The worst thing that happens is they say, no, thank you.
Exactly.
No, we didn't accept you. That's it. At best, you just got free money that you weren't expecting coming in.
Right. and you probably would get multiple scholarships as well. We have students that get the Pell Grant, and then they also get several other scholarships, and before they know it, they've funded all of their additional costs. If the Opportunity Scholarship covers and the Lottery Scholarship covers their tuition and fees, Then they need money for their books or just to cover any expense for transportation.
Even if you get like those one-time $500 or $300 whatever, hey, a couple of those and you just got your semester paid for.
Exactly.
Yeah, it really, and so please visit that financial aid. I don't care how rich you are or how rich your parents are or how poor you are, parent. I mean, it doesn't matter because it's, sure, there's obviously finances come into play on getting more scholarships, but you know, if you're studying like nursing or studying something that's specific, a lot of, you know, entities will give you money just so you pursue that career field. That's free money for you. You know, so please take advantage of that. Research it. It's you'd be a fool not to. You really would be.
Right, and our donors are so wonderful that have contributed to some of these scholarships, and they really are so excited when they see students apply for them and receive them.
Yeah.
And
I know.
We get thank you letters. We require students to give us a thank you note or thank you letter, and when we send those, the donors or the organization are just so thrilled to see that their money is being put to good use and helping somebody to change their life.
Yeah, I've kind of seen the other side because, you know, I'm involved with other organizations and things, and American Legion being one of them, and I know we have one that we work through the college with you guys on, and I don't know all the details because I'm just kind of on the outside looking in, but I do know when we see the applicants and we see their applications, and then we talk to them, and we're honored to do it. But at the same time, it's really neat for us to meet the students and meet the, you know, and you know, obviously American Legion, there's kind of a veteran string with those scholarships, but it's nice to meet, you know, these like one of the recipients was I think active Army and was still doing some things and in the Guard or Reserve and parents were, it was just and then meeting this person, and it was just a fine young lady that was really just a pleasure to meet, and it's great to, you know, when even, you know, it's nice, it makes us feel good when we say, hey, we gave $1,000 to this person, and you could see how appreciative they are of it. So it's really cool on both sides of it. So please apply. It makes us happy when you guys apply too. Trust me.
Yes, it does. So so again, those are all available on our website. And if you have questions, of course, you can call our financial aid office, of course, just through Thursday this week. And Kimberly is our assistant financial aid director. And we have other people that can assist you as well. Just the main number is 624-7400, or you can call 624-7114, or just call the main number 7000 and say, I need to talk to someone who's been financial aid.
Yeah, that's the main number to everything campus related. So if you don't know what party you're trying to talk to, you call that 7000, the main number, and they'll be happy. You even ask, like, all right, I want to talk about scholarships. Who do I need to talk to about that? And they'll be like, okay.
They'll direct you to the right person.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have plenty of assistance there. But we have lots of great things coming up in the new year at the college. Of course, we have our Veteran Center that's in operation. We have our food pantry.
So glad to see those come to fruition here in the fall.
Those are all going, and they'll be serving even more students in the spring. We have a new student lounge that we are outfitting right now.
Nice.
We have it kind of right in the center of campus. It's actually right next to the food pantry, not far from the Success Center. Everything's kind of in the Learning Resource Center area. So we have pool tables that were just installed in there. We have a nice TV, huge flat screen TV for gaming and watching whatever.
So if people got a little bit of time between classes and they want to unwind a little bit before the next class.
And we've had feedback from students that say, you know, they needed a place just to. We have a lot of study areas and places like that, but they wanted some place to maybe gather with friends and socialize, play
and
some
not feel
games.
like they're disturbing other people trying to study and stuff.
So we're really excited to have this new student lounge that will be opening.
Plus, I imagine too, for like some of the people that live on campus, you know, it gives them a chance to, you know, go and socialize and interact when they're not hanging out in their dorms and stuff.
Exactly. So we're really excited to have that open as well. So. For the spring, we also will be doing, we have a grant to develop a career center and more career resources for students.
Great.
So that's been going really great in the fall, and they have more events coming up in the spring, just a couple of them. They're helping students with professional headshots, with business attire, interview skills, salary negotiation.
Nice.
Landing
jobs.
Landing jobs. So they'll really help students with their career and placement needs and employment needs. So we're really, that's something we've kind of not done as consistently as we needed to. So we have a whole career center that we've set up through a grant, and Tanya Buxton is our career pathway coordinator. And so we'll be doing a lot more activities and workshops to help students make sure they're ready for the workplace and for interviewing and making sure they have their resumes and written properly.
Sure.
And, cover letters, how to do that, those sort of things.
Valuable skills.
Very valuable skills.
Absolutely.
So, we have the education part and the training part taken care of, but just take that to the next step.
Absolutely.
And be able to sell yourself to an employer.
How do you show people that you do have the skill set to do the job they're asking, and that's how to present yourself in a way, and I'm not trying to play back in my day old guy mentality, but the way we communicate is so different nowadays compared to it was 20 and 30 years ago, and let's face it, some of those critical thinking / speaking and talking on your feet and handling, which can be a very stressful situation, being in a job interview.
Right.
How to navigate that and come out, looking like a professional.
Exactly.
And it's if you don't have experience doing it, you're not going to be good at it until you do it.
And just anticipating some of the questions that they'll ask and practicing how would I respond to this type of question.
And let's face it, as not all interviewers are skilled at being interviewers either, and so you got to know how to handle that. So if the job interviewer is kind of asking questions that are out of left field, how do you answer those without sounding like you're coming out of left field?
Like let's bring it back.
You know what I mean? Like some people,
yes.
Because you always get those questions like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I'm like, what kind of question? I mean, certain circles, but that's so like cliche, you know what I mean? But it still get asked,
right?
And it's like,
and a lot of interviews, of course, are taking place on Zoom or Teams, or so making sure you're set up for that correctly, if you have the right background behind
put on
you.
Pants.
And
I know you don't have to, but at some point you're going to stand up and expose yourself.
Pants are probably good.
Otherwise, you're going to end up in a commercial somewhere, or at least on Twitter.
Right. True. That could be embarrassing. But yes, there are a lot of tips and tricks and skills that you can learn through a lot of these workshops.
Absolutely.
So, what they'll do is they'll work with certain cohort students. They'll say, we're going to do a workshop for all the welding students today, or for automotive students, or or we're just going to have an open, people can sign up and come. So it's really nice to have that service available to our students as well, in addition to everything else we offer. But it's important to prepare yourself for the workplace.
Well, and that's all the extras that we talk about. That like when you enroll as a student at Eastern New Mexico University Roswell, it's more than just going to your class and then going home at the end of the day.
Right.
It's so much more than that. It's and not everybody has the same goals, and that's the campus is set up that way. Not everybody is there to get a bachelor's or associate's or whatever. Some are just there to enrich their own personal lives. Some are there just to get a certificate for a certain aspect in their job. Some are trying to figure it out still, and they're taking some classes to build up, something till they figure out what direction they want to go in. But everybody's at work. Some have gone through life and are pretty seasoned, and they're retired and looking to maybe broaden their horizons into something else, or do the bucket list. Let's do all the things I've always wanted to do and didn't get a chance to do because I was working day and night for 20 years. That's the beauty of this campus, and the resources there for everybody. Granted, not everybody's going to be wanting to hang out and play games and stuff, but there's going to be a lot of people who want to come and maybe get a meal or sit down and study in quiet because their house is a zoo and they want to get a nice quiet place to do that. And the campus offers all of that.
We do. We help kind of wrap around services, and we really do bring students into our family. It sounds a little cliche, but we really want them to succeed, whatever it takes to get them to where they need to go. So if they need extra tutoring or just need to talk to an instructor, if they need behavioral health services, if they need, a box of food to get them through the weekend, or if they're a veteran, if they just need a place to find some more help, for whatever they need for their future. So we really do provide a lot of services, and our students that do well take advantage of everything we have to offer. I mean, they should. Why
Absolutely.
not? That's why
That's
we're
why it's
there.
there.
That's why we're set up.
And
the
we
way
have a lot
are.
of success stories because of that. So
We do.
So utilize
Really-
it. That's what it's there for. And
So
and
we're
classes.
and of course the community's welcome to come out. We have a lot of facilities they can use for meetings, that sort of thing. Our Performing Arts Center is heavily utilized, and our Commons area is really nice. We're getting even more set up for true audio visual. We're putting in a new speaker system.
nice.
We have big, huge flat screen TVs around, so you can have meetings and different events. So
update
we're really
some of the equipment and things, yeah.
investing a lot of money into the campus. And of course, we have ongoing tree trimming that we've been doing. So you'll see there's a lot of areas that are just more wide open now. We've had a lot of dead trees cut, branches cut, just more aesthetic things. Our new campus lighting is wonderful. If you go out there at night now, everything's so bright and lit up.
Those are thanks to the bonds. Yeah.
Thanks to the bonds. We are going to be doing some bathroom sanitation work in some of the buildings. So there will be some construction going on later into the spring on campus. So that might be a bit disruptive. But, these are things that have to be done for maintenance and infrastructure, trying to keep that going.
And with the campus pretty much 20, all year round, with the exception of a week or two here.
Yeah, we're open all the time.
Yeah. So
that puts a lot of strain on all of our systems.
Absolutely.
So we will have some disruption in some things, but that's just the price we pay for progress. But again, our campus is really a wonderful environment.
Absolutely. Yeah, please.
Come out
like
and
I said,
visit.
you got through this Thursday. If you want to come to the campus and talk to a live person or be but in the meantime or during, or if you can't make it there, you can always go to the campus website, roswell.enmu.edu.
Yes.
And you can do everything from sign up for classes to read about what all the services and things we're talking about here to schedule an appointment to meet with an advisor. All of that's there.
Right.
Don't forget to like and follow Eastern New Mexico University Roswell on Facebook. Especially if you're a student, every student should like and follow it just so you can stay up to date on everything.
They should. We always post a lot of if it's interesting, informational content, we try and make sure it's something worthwhile.
Absolutely, and of course, if 'tis the season here with the weather and all that. If there's any alerts changes, that's usually the first place to go.
We will always post and anything about a delay or a closure, we'll post, of course, on our website, but also on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter. That's
and we'll let everybody know too. But
yes, and then we rely on you guys to help us out as well.
But they usually social media is where it first starts.
Yeah,
popping up for
it'll
everyone to
start
see.
there first.
Yeah.
And then, of course, classes start January 17th. So that'll be
Sign
just
up.
around the corner.
And the earlier you sign up, the better your class selection and course selection will be. So do yourself a favor, do it this week, then you can enjoy your
That's
Christmas.
right. You'll have a stress-free Christmas.
Yeah, and then all you got to worry about after the New Year is getting your books and finding where your classroom is and all that good stuff.
Right.
So, very good.
Exactly.
Well, thank you, Donna.
Thank you, Mike.
Merry Christmas to you and your
Christmas to
family.
you.
And
You as well.
We'll see you in 2023, if not sooner.
2023.
So.
Okay.
And if we can, anything else we need, let me know. We'll be happy to help you out there.
Thank you very much.
Good deal.
Appreciate that.
All right, it is 8:45. Let's pause for news right quick, and then we're going to talk to the folks from the Extension Office on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. We begin with a traffic alert for Roswell drivers. Pavement work is beginning along West 12th Street between North Washington Avenue and North Missouri Avenue. A statement from the city says the work will begin Wednesday and last through Friday of this week. The section of road will be closed to most traffic during working hours these days, but access will be maintained for residents and businesses in the area. New Mexico will begin offering some students free virtual tutoring for math, science, and other subjects. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham announcing the online tutoring program as part of the state's efforts to invest in education. The tutoring will be for students between pre-K and 8th grade at Title I schools, including tribally controlled schools. It'll be available before, after, or during school hours. Participating students will be able to receive up to 20 hours of tutoring. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Generally fair and mild over the next couple of days, but we do have colder air that'll be dropping in from the northern Rockies by Thursday, cooling things off quite a bit for our area. Low 50s and a mix of sunshine and clouds today. Overnight, cloudy, and we'll be dropping into the mid-20s, and then we're looking at mid-50s with a sunny day coming up on Wednesday. Quite a bit cooler Thursday, sunny and upper 30s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Did you know you share your birthday with at least 9 million other people in the world? Your birthday isn't feeling so special now, is it? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:47, and joining us in studio this morning from the Chaves County Extension Office, Tamara Schubert and Drew Garnett are back with us. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
How's life at the Extension Office this morning?
Busy.
Yeah, getting ready for the holidays. I imagine a lot of people have last-minute holiday questions and things. I'm sure, with people signing up for your diabetes classes coming up here in the new year. It's now's the time to be doing all that stuff.
Now is the time. Yep. January kicks off a lot of programs for us.
Mm-hmm. So it's really the sign-up time now is getting involved here. Obviously, I imagine with like pesticides and stuff, you guys usually do a bunch of that in the first of the year too, don't you?
Well, we do some. So there's going to be a lot of conferences that are going to be coming up, and there are a lot of opportunities to get your CEUs and things like that.
Okay.
And most people who needed their CEUs, I hope you've gotten them already. But if you haven't, there are still some online options if you still need CEUs for your pesticide applicator's license.
Okay, very good.
And if you contact us at the extension, I can get you hooked up with those.
Very good. Which that's for folks that don't know, the Chaves County Extension Office, which is an extension, pardon the pun, of New Mexico State University, but they are there as your resource for everything ag to 4-H and that kind of stuff, to just general health and education and things like that. It's your source. So obviously with Drew and the predominantly he deals with, I think, like your farmers and commercial crop growers and things, but he's just as busy, active, helping backyard gardeners as you are, people that do it for a living.
Very much so, and especially right now, if you're interested in backyard gardening and urban horticulture and things like that, right now is a great time for you because the Master Gardener program is about to start up. Actually, January 7th is going to be the start date for the next course. It has moved to an online format, but you still come and sign up through our office over on 200 East Chisholm.
Very good. Now, this isn't like this is some information. This isn't like a TikTok video with some gee whiz tips. This is getting into the science of growing and farming, and so it's complex. We're talking. From the chemicals to not chemicals, what kinds, and I mean it gets in the weeds. Pardon the pun here.
It does,
but it really does because it's in depth and thorough. This is not just all right. You put a little hole about the size of your bigger hole, and then you put a couple seeds in. It's a little more than that.
It's a lot more. It is. It's a 16-week commitment is what it is, and it's a crash course into a whole lot of detail on horticulture, plant physiology.
Yeah. But if this is your thing and you love it, whether it's for pleasure or to pay the bills, it's a great information. But be forewarned, if you're going in thinking you're taking like a wine and paint class, this ain't it. Don't bring your friends over and think you're going to party the whole time. This is like a college level course on gardening and things like
intense.
That. So I just wanted to let people know. It's like, oh man, I'm not smart enough for that, because I saw some of it and I'm like, how many? Is that even a word? How many words?
No, but you are completely smart enough. It is set up really well, and for anybody at any level of gardening, you'll get something out of it.
I got you. I looked at it. It looked like Chinese to me, man.
Wow. It's Latin. It's actually Latin scientific name.
So. There's my problem. But also coming up, and we talked a little bit about this a week or two ago here, but. Please sign up with Tamara as well for these the diabetic cookbook classes that are coming up, and then of course the actual year-long diabetes education class. Really.
Right. So we do have our Prevent T2 class, which is Prevent Type 2 Diabetes. It's a year-long class. The first, I want to say 4 months, we meet once a week, and then we taper off to, twice a month and then once a month towards the end of the year. But it goes through stress and sleep habits and everything to help you hopefully prevent the diagnosis of diabetes. But we also have Kitchen Creations kicking off in February and March too. So,
and those are popular and fun. So sign up early because you cook foods and eat them.
Right.
And who does not want to do that?
It's fantastic.
And
Drew gets to try the leftovers.
Are you the guinea pig? Well, I mean, they torture me with the smells the whole time, and then they bring me a little bit to try afterwards. So, I feel pretty blessed on those days.
I will tell you this. Over the Thanksgiving holiday, I had for the first time a cauliflower pizza. And I was impressed. It's consistency. It's a little different because it's not like you're folding Italian style. Hey, get your sofa pie, but it's tasty. It's got a great crunch to it, which I kind of dug, and it to me it tastes like crust. It just tastes like a flatbread thin crust pizza.
Yeah, there are ways to do it. We made carrot pineapple muffins just yesterday. So
I don't even like
full of pineapple
it was
and
delicious.
full of carrots.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's really, it's pretty good stuff, and that's what this Kitchen Creations class is. It's like, I get it. You're like, how am I going to live the rest of my life without pizza? Or how am I going to live the rest of my life without ice cream? Or whatever it is. And this Kitchen Creations class allows you to create your favorite dishes without, quote unquote, getting all the punishments for them. And that's the great thing about it. And two, offering substitutes. Yeah, you love ice cream. Great. Well, let me show you some products that will allow you to enjoy it, but not give you and the good news is we live in a world now where the consumers are getting more choices when it comes to diabetic or gluten-free options and things like that, and they're starting to get good at some of it. You know what I mean? Like ice cream was 10 years ago, diabetic ice cream or low carb ice cream was not bueno. It's getting more bueno.
They're making some advances in science.
Yeah, it's getting where it feels and looks and tastes a little bit more like ice cream and things like that. But you'd be amazed at what you can do with some alternative ingredients. And if someone didn't even tell you, you probably wouldn't even know in some cases. You know what I mean? That's how good it is. So please sign up for these classes. Yeah. They're immensely popular. And I'm telling you, sign up early, because if you wait till January to try it, you might get left out in the cold on these because
they are cooking classes. We do max out because let's face it, our kitchen is only so big.
Exactly.
But while they're calling the office to sign up for that stuff, they can still sign up for 4-H. There's lots of programs that kick off in January.
Okay.
Including our quilting.
Oh, great.
Our fiber crafts. So if they're interested in crochet or knitting, things like that.
That's what fiber crafts are?
Yep.
Okay. I just learned. I didn't know what that meant.
Oh, look at that. We all went back to school.
What are we talking here? Bran muffins? What are we doing?
Yeah. So, it's not too late. We still have our shooting sports areas going. Drew teaches part of that with us.
Oh, good.
Yeah. It's still, we kick off a lot right now. So if they have not made it down to the office to get those kiddos signed up, we encourage them to do so.
And please visit, you guys, for folks that don't know, 4-H and the Extension Office. They've got regular gigs at the Roswell Public Library each month.
We do.
I think you're done for December, right?
We're done for December.
Yeah,
we just
but you got a couple in January.
But they can come join us in January, and we're doing leathercraft, and that's always a big popular one. So they can come make keychains or bookmarks with us.
Yeah.
And so we supply all the materials. It's free of charge to them. They just come down and have fun.
And you do your gardening.
We have gardening at the library every third Saturday of the month. So the next one will be January 21st.
So come on out to those. They're free of charge.
Yep.
Just come on out and learn some stuff. And who knows, it might get you in the door for, if you want to learn more about what 4-H is doing and talking about, and I say this, I said it just yesterday when I was talking to library folks. If you think 4-H is just showing animals at the fair, you're missing out on most of 4-H.
On a lot, yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. They love showing animals, and that's very much a part of it. But you could literally not go anywhere near that and be very much involved in 4-H and not show an animal or pet one or do anything with an animal.
But we do a lot in livestock. We have a team going to nationals this year for horse. Yeah, for horse.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations to them. Good deal.
They leave here in just a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
tying we got real quick, I'll do a quick short story. I was talking with Tracy from the library, and we were talking about her book club and about their new book. And the book they're talking about, I fail to remember the title, but it's kind of basically a trek of bringing exotic animals to the San Diego Zoo back like in the 20s or 30s. And the first giraffes were coming into the country, and so they had this train. They were going to the San Diego Zoo to bring the first giraffes, and people had never seen giraffes before. And looking at them like, what the heck kind of animal is that? But it's kind of I don't know what brought me to, but the 4-H, like them showing the animals and stuff. Just imagine if the first time you're seeing stuff like that, and it just. Like, that's 4-H to me. Like, they're showing these animals to the zoo and everything, but how many times do these kids get exposed to things they've never seen or done before? We all know what giraffes are now because the internet, and now they're in zoos and things. But the first time people saw that coming, what's that kind of reaction about? What's wrong with that horse's neck?
And just going on that vein of something new and something exciting, if you don't think you can show, you can. There's plenty of opportunity. There's a whole host of different animals that you can show.
Absolutely.
And there are a lot of people that are willing to help and help you out.
Yeah. So we have guinea pig curriculum. Yeah. Rabbits. I mean, we have.
Yeah, don't shortchange yourself on that.
Just because you don't live on a farm or ranch.
Right. You still have that opportunity.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of ways to do it. So come into the office, talk to us, come see us, sign up for 4-H.
Yeah. According to the city ordinance, you can have chickens in the city limit. Just saying,
you And eggs are getting more expensive, so.
And it's sure nice when you have your own eggs, My sister-in-law, they live in Albuquerque. They have they too have an ordinance where you're allowed to have eggs, and so they got a little coop with three chickens in there. I think it's a rooster and 2 hens. But they get, and my sister, my niece, my youngest niece, that's her side gig. She sells eggs to the neighbors and stuff like that, and she makes like $100 selling eggs,
It's fantastic.
Hey, teach them about business and money management.
Yeah, responsibility and taking care of those chickens and everything
Absolutely.
else. It's so much.
So if you have any questions about anything we're talking about and sign up for any of these classes, or if you're just like, I need help, can you help me? Reach out to the extension office. What's your hours, the holiday schedule here?
So we are closed on Friday of next week.
Okay.
For the holidays. But other than that, this week.
This week.
Is it already? Oh, it is already this week.
Christmas Eve is this Saturday.
Yeah, so we're closed on the 23rd.
Okay. What about the Monday, the 26th?
It'll be hit or miss.
Yeah, hit or miss. We'll be
us.
in and out of the office.
I just know that pretty much everyone else is closed that day, so me thinks you guys won't be around either.
If you call the office and we're not there to answer the phone right away because our administrative help is going to be out of the office, if we're not there when you call, leave a message on there. We'll get back to you.
We'll get back to you as soon as possible. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, and give the phone number for the office as well, too.
575-622-3210.
And, of course, look for, if it's through New Mexico State University, but the Ag Sciences, what do you look for on Facebook officially? It's not extension.
So it depends on what Facebook page. So all of our departments have a different Facebook page. So if you're looking for 4-H, it's under NMSU Travis County 4-H.
Okay.
If you're looking for the Family Consumer Sciences side, which is the health nutrition, it's NMSU Family Consumer Sciences.
Okay.
I think Ag is the same way. Yeah.
Very good. So, but if you do, just New Mexico State, Chaves County, you'll probably find it.
It'll come up with all our pages.
So, good deal. Well, thank you guys. Merry Christmas to you all.
Thank you.
We will see you in a brand new 2023.
Right. That's hard to believe.
I know.
I said that the other day for the first day. I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's going to mess with your head for a while. Thank you, guys.
Hey, thank you, Mike.
It is 9 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, or Roswell, New Mexico.
A temporary hold on the expiration of Title 42, the pandemic-era policy used to expel migrants without allowing them to request asylum. It was set to expire tomorrow, but several Republican-led states, including Texas, appealed to keep it. El Paso Mayor Oscar Leeser issued a state of emergency.
The shelters in Juarez are completely full today, and that they believe that there's about 20,000 people ready to come into El Paso.
I'm Julie Walker.
The budget proposal unveiled by congressional leaders totals $1.7 trillion. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell applauding the bill as a GOP victory because he says it hikes defense spending while effectively cutting domestic outlays.
McConnell notes it's the reverse of what President Biden asked for when he submitted his budget, namely to cut funding for the armed forces after inflation, while massively increasing spending on non-defense. McConnell says Republicans took what he called the president's bizarre position and, in his words, flipped it on its head. Majority Whip Dick Durbin chalks up the loss to his party's desperation to pass a bill before Republicans take over the House next month. He told reporters, quote, "I don't like it, but we're in a pretty desperate situation." Bob Agnew reporting.
Consumer banking giant Wells Fargo ordered by federal regulators to pay $3.7 billion in fines and refunds to customers, the largest fine to date against the banking giant. Wall Street, the Dow's up 120 points, the NASDAQ ahead 15 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hi, Sarah. I'm sorry I'm late. The traffic is crazy.
Yeah, it is. And it doesn't help that gas prices have skyrocketed. I can't believe how much it costs for gas now.
Everyone's talking about how much gas is, but I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app, and I get cash back for every gallon of gas I buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid real cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yeah, real cash every time I buy gas.
What? That sounds like it could really add up.
I've made around $200 already.
Wow, that's serious extra money. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code APP200 for an extra 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill-up. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code APP200 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus in your first tank. That's code APP200 for 25 cents per gallon cash back in your first fill-up. Cashback's not available in gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Amid a broad battlefield stalemate, Russian forces continue bombing Ukraine from the air as war-weary residents try to keep the Christmas spirit alive.
Sweeping broken glass. It's been self-exploding drones of late, many intercepted by Ukrainian air defenses, but not all. But Monday was St. Nicholas Day, the start of the Christmas holidays in Ukraine, and in Kharkiv, a Christmas tree lighting in the central subway station, where residents can shelter from the Russian air attacks. In the capital, Kyiv, amid the hum of generators, the Christmas tree is outside, topped with Ukraine's golden trident.
For children, it's very important.
Mayor Vitaly Klitschko.
Also, we want to show the Russians we have will to win.
I'm Ben Thomas.
The death toll in the latest COVID outbreak in Beijing has risen to 5 as China continues to adapt to an easing of strict virus containment rules. Townhall.com. Russia may expedite the launch of its next space capsule following a bit of a setback.
The space corporation Roscosmos says a coolant leak from a Russian space capsule attached to the International Space Station does not require evacuation of its crew, but the agency kept open the possibility of launching a replacement capsule if needed. A panel of experts will determine later this month whether the Soyuz MS-22 capsule could be safely used by the crew for its planned return to Earth or if it should be discarded and replaced. Rhonda Rockster reporting.
The Democrat-controlled House January 6th committee urging the Justice Department to bring criminal charges against former President Trump and some of his associates. The former president dismisses the panel as purely political, part of an attempt, he says, to keep him from running for the White House again, which he's doing anyway. Once again on Wall Street, the Dow's up 113 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Trace and Viernos.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday.
Yes.
Welcome to it. Hope your Tuesday's going amazingly well and swimmingly and super duper.
Indeed.
Yes. There's our frog. He hadn't been around in a while.
He's hiding. He was hiding over here. He was hibernating.
Ooh. I was wondering for a minute if these had nude photos of Bob Ross. No. Just quotes.
Just quotes. Okay.
The playing cards. I'm sorry. Because for some reason, if you're going to get playing cards, you always get nude ones.
You hope for nude cards. Ultimately, you hope for nudes.
So I play all my poker matches with them to distract the players' opponents. So I tease them while they're busy staring at the cards, and I'm busy just collecting their chips.
I feel like and I know that the industry itself is fine. They're making enough money, but I feel like it's an unnecessary expense of casinos that they never use a deck of cards twice.
Well, as much money as they make, that's an operating cost they're willing to absorb.
I know, but it just seems frivolous.
Well, I think they turn around and sell most of those decks of cards.
They do.
So you get your money back.
Sort of.
Well, yes and no. They get their money back because.
Oh, I mean, I'm not. Trust me, I'm not sitting here like ballyhooing for ballies or anything. I know they're doing fine. The Caesars people don't need me down here.
Like
jockeying
I'm
for
willing
them.
to bet that they probably just get copious amounts of cards directly from Bicycle or whoever the official card manufacturer is for Las Vegas or whatever it is. But I'm pretty sure they just have a running order where they just, constantly ship directly
there's just a guy in the back that they just toss the deck to and they just put a quick hole in it.
There's not a guy going to Walmart, going up and down the aisles, grabbing all the cards off the corners of the end caps.
Can you get Jimmy to run down to the Dwayne Reed real quick? We need a couple of decks.
I got all the reds I need. I need the blue ones now to match with the other blue ones. Yeah.
I mean, is it really that big of a thing?
And I want to know is someone's job to take out the jokers and all the other
Well, I theorize that it's somebody's job to prep the decks because they have like the big like auger in the back and just put the one hole in the middle.
Yeah, I'm sure that's someone's job.
Have you ever owned a casino deck?
I have not.
They're pretty cool to have.
Yeah.
My mom used to work for a nursing home, and for some reason, nursing homes always got a hold of casino decks.
They're always either playing bingo or some kind of card game.
So every deck at the nursing home was a casino deck. And I pilfered one day and
Monte Carlo night at the senior center.
Right.
It happens.
You're lucky. Look at you. You came on Pinochle night. So I pilfered one of those decks and was a popular kid on the block because I had a casino deck.
Yeah, check him out. he sat
smack dab in the middle of Oklahoma, dude. That was something.
They used it to play Uno.
We played Mao.
War.
Any Roswell High band kids circa like 1999 to 2003. I say the word Mao. It gives them like nightmare, like Vietnam flashbacks. Mao was a game that I don't know if we invented this game, but
I've never heard of it.
It's a very weird game. It's played very similar to kind of like an Uno style game.
Okay.
The big difference is every time whoever wins a hand or a game, they get to make up a rule for the next game, and they don't have to tell anybody what it is until you get carded for it.
Okay.
And that's how you learn the rules. And they continue throughout. Like if you play 6 games.
This is a real game?
This is a real game. We used to play this all the time in band in high school.
What would be an example of a rule?
If you play a 3, you have to shout a quote from Monty Python or something like that.
Okay. And if you don't do it,
if you don't do it, then you get carded. Oh, but the other thing is you also can't talk. So
how do you shout a quote from Monty Python?
At that point, you can.
Okay.
It's been worked in with the rules.
Okay.
There's point of order and point of play, I believe it was. Point of order is when your cards are down, you can't touch your cards, but you can talk. point of play. You can touch your cards. You can't talk.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember. I vaguely
sounds
remember.
very convoluted.
I couldn't play it to this day if you ask me, but I think that if I got a group of band geeks together for circa that era, I bet we probably could.
Yeah. Okay.
Enough of us remember enough of the rules that we could cobble together a hand of Mao.
I guess my version would have just been spades. We played many, many hours of spades in the United States Air Force.
Spades is fun too. Spades is a good.
That was the official game of exercises when we're sitting in hangars for 12-hour shifts, sucking gas masks and things. We'd sat there and play spades. All the fake wars going on.
Right.
Interesting.
So you're saying it really was like all those movies, just in a big sweaty tent, a bunch of shirtless dudes.
Well, I was in a hangar, but yeah. It was when we practiced war at Holloman there. We were a weapons crew, so they basically, the way the hangars were set up, they were in groups of 4, so there's 4 jets per quad. And so they would put a weapons load crew in each quad. And so I would sit in a quad and be responsible to load and maintain 4 jets during the exercise. And sometimes they make me load. Sometimes they just make me sit there, sleep under racks. Sometimes they make me go out and do a foreign object damage check, which basically means I have to walk around the building with my gas mask on and a M16 slung over my shoulder and look for crap laying around in the ground. And then if it's stuff laying on the ground, then, oh, that's a IED. You must mark it and alert, and it's all that mess. So anyway.
That sounds fun.
It's delightful. Exercises blow. Especially when they go from a phase 1 to a phase 2, which means you have to go in process. You have to go and do all this crazy in processing and fake decontaminating. And then just to get, like you work a 12-hour shift, but you're actually working 15 because you have to be there early to go through in processing. And then you have to go out of out processing, which by the time your 12-hour shift's done, you've worked a 15-hour day. So that week of exercises is no bueno.
Not to mention the delousings. Oh my God, the delousings. Seems excessive. Every other hour, we weren't even around that many, louses.
Exercise stink. They just stink. They stink on.
I just looked it up. Mao is an actual game.
Okay.
It's an actual card game. It says, as a card game of the shedding family, the aim is to get rid of all the cards in hand without breaking certain unspoken rules. So, yeah.
Okay.
But
the shedding family?
Like you are in the process of shedding your cards.
Oh, okay.
It's that family of card games.
Oh, okay.
That genus of card games.
Nice. Okay. All right. We're going to replay our interview with Brian Luck, superintendent here, and I probably need to get it going because it is a little lengthy.
Longy.
So it is 9:13. Let's check out the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Generally fair and mild over the next couple of days. What we do have colder air that'll be dropping in from the northern Rockies by Thursday, cooling things off quite a bit for our area. Low 50s and a mix of sunshine and clouds today. Overnight, cloudy, and we'll be dropping into the mid-20s. And then we're looking at mid-50s with a sunny day coming up on Wednesday. Quite a bit cooler Thursday, sunny and upper 30s. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 34 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 50%. Winds currently out of the northeast at 7 miles per hour. Increasing clouds today, although it's pretty clear out there at the moment. Expect a high of 52 with north winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mostly cloudy tonight with an overnight low of 27. South winds at around 5 miles per hour. Mostly sunny Wednesday, 58 for a high tomorrow with south winds at around 5 to 10. Tomorrow night, mostly clear, 32 for an overnight low. And then Thursday, Friday, it's cold. Freezing. Thursday, sunny. 33 our high on Thursday. Winds will be out of the north 10 to 15 early, 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour Thursday afternoon. So cold and windy. Thursday night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 5 degrees. 5, single, 5, as in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 degrees. And then Friday, you're going to have a day of mostly sunny skies with a high of 26 degrees. Yeah, cold on Friday. Friday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 15. And then for the Christmas weekend, Christmas Eve, Saturday, sunny, highs back near 40. And then on Christmas Day, Sunday, sunny skies, 54, the expected high there. All right, 9:15, we're going to take about a 2.5-minute commercial break, and then we're going to play our interview with Superintendent Brian Luck. Don't go away.
Roswell Skin Center is here to provide comprehensive skin care to southeastern New Mexico in a friendly and warm environment. Dr. Cometti and his team continue to offer a full scope of medical and cosmetic dermatology services, from treating skin cancer to helping you look your best. Roswell Skin Center is proud to introduce Anna Ingalls, licensed esthetician who specializes in cosmetic treatments, including laser rejuvenation, hair removal, facials, chemical peels, and more. Anna is accepting new patients, and when you schedule your first treatment, you can receive $50 off and begin earning valuable discounts to be enjoyed throughout the year. Schedule with Anna by calling 575-208-2509, and for more info on our services and rewards, go to roswellskin.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. Same-day smiles are what we do. My passion is helping patients chew, talk, and live with confidence. That's why I'm one of the few doctors in the U.S. who can create beautiful same-day smiles with the latest digital implant technology. This procedure is life-changing. Just ask Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean. I've been that voice that you've heard on the radio for most of my life, but I'm also a dad to two amazing kids. I've had a million reasons to smile, but in all my old pictures, I was never smiling. Truth is that life of improper care and being dealt a bad hand genetically left me practically with no teeth. It affected everything from the way I ate, the way I talked, and of course how I interacted with people. And that's where Dr. Keon and Carabelli stepped in. They eased my fears. They explained every step of the process in a way that I could understand, and they made me feel almost like I was part of the team. And now, I can't stop smiling. I have so much more confidence, and I love looking in the mirror now. I can't explain how much of a difference Dr. Keon's dental implant process made for me.
Our team can help you find your smile too. Come see us at Carabelli Dental, 575-622-4455.
Eastern New Mexico University in Portales is proud to offer potential students the opportunity to attend ENMU tuition-free with the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship. And now we are proud to announce the newly created Freshman Hound Housing Room Grant, which will allow students the opportunity to receive up to $3,000 per year off their housing costs when living on the ENMU campus. For more information on how ENMU is making higher education more affordable for you and your family members, visit enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Superintendent for the Roswell Independent School District, Brian. And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Superintendent for the Roswell Independent School District, Brian Luck, back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
You know what? We're making it, baby.
Good deal. I know families are excited. Teachers are excited. We're getting ready to go into the holiday break here.
Yes, sir.
Things wrap up, I guess, Friday for most everybody here as far as the, for the holiday break here. So
yes, sir.
So next week, parents, kids are all on you.
Yes. We the way the calendar works, every so often you have this break,
sure,
where you've got a lot of time front loaded.
Mm-hmm. Because you guys are going back like pretty early in 23 on this.
Teachers go back on the 2nd, and kids go back on the 3rd,
which is a little surprising for most people. But the way the calendar lines up, it makes sense.
It was a nice 2-week break.
Yeah.
And then one of the things we'll talk about later is next year's calendar. And next year's calendar has us getting out with Christmas on a Monday. We get out that Friday. And there's a lot of people that have said, well, that's not a lot of time to travel. And as my comment
so it's going to be backloaded on next year.
Yes. And it is, as a teacher, I really liked that one because, man, this year January is going to feel like its own semester by itself.
It's going to be, because let's face it, that's a dry spell for holidays for the most part too. I mean, you got President's Day and some of those there in those first 2 months of the year, but for the most part, it's not a lot going on until around Easter, springtime.
It's a haul.
Yeah.
I mean, you get everybody back and get to going, and it's cold, and it's January.
It's
and
the
it's
grind
school.
of the school year is
and
right after the break.
I love every bit of that grind being back in person.
Yeah. Well, that's just it. It's a normal grind.
It is a normal.
Kids in classrooms, and then you got, of course, it's kind of a busy time for extracurricular activities. Football's done, but basketball rolls in, and then, of course, a lot of the band and FFA and a lot of their events
Judging.
take place during that time too.
I'm pretty sure there's a basketball game every 45 minutes.
It feels like
somewhere
it.
in Roswell during that time frame, and our officials would probably say the same thing. So
yes,
there's a lot going on, and we're just again getting back into the grind, and just it feels so good to be coming up to a normal Christmas break.
Yeah,
whatever normal looks like now, but it's you can count on it.
Absolutely.
We're having it. We have early dismissal Friday, so
Yes.
we're out at 1:30. And parents, we're looking forward to you getting to spend some time with your kids.
Yeah,
and they are too, and our teachers. What a much needed break, and getting to spend time with their families, and hopefully getting over this sickness.
I was about to say,
around.
I know.
Gosh.
I just know from my wife's own classroom and things, and I mean, certain days they're down to like 50% classroom. Just because of the three different things going around right now.
Well,
with
it's
COVID and flu and the whatever that other initial thing is. It's going.
Well, it's RSV.
RSV.
But I
it.
think you could insert any initials you wanted to this week, and it's interesting this year because it's everybody's still got that COVID kind of in the back of their mind. So when we roll up and we'll had a lot of the flu, and you do what you can, you treat it.
Sure.
Our doctors are doing as good as they can.
I recommend get your flu shots. Those flu shots, there's enough evidence and years of proving where even if they don't nail the right strain every year, it gives you a pretty good modicum of protection against. So you still might get flu, but it turns out to be a cold more than a flu, which I'll take that over a flu.
Oh yeah. Well, I've talked to several people, and my house was no different.
Yeah.
There's 4 of us, and we all got it at the same time. And we were joking. It's like, well, now maybe we can enjoy Christmas.
Sure. I mean, I know people in the controversy of the COVID shot and all that. Yes, do what you do best for you. But the flu shot, I could safely say, they've got enough stuff around on that. It is a good idea for especially if you're one that gets sick every year. Get that flu shot. That way, that's one less thing you got to worry about.
Some of the smaller districts that don't have the substitute resources that we've had, have had to take a day or two here and there. We've been very fortunate. We mentioned last night at the board meeting that we've had certain weeks where we've averaged in the 90% fill rate with substitutes. I mean, that was unheard of 2 years ago.
And that's what I tell Kim, my wife. She comes in, she goes, "Yeah, there was only like 50% of the class in today. The rest were out sick," and that's a big number for when you say a class of say 20 kids.
Sure,
half of them. There's 10 kids in a classroom because that's a big notice.
Well, it is, but. Again, back to the one a minute ago. It's normal.
Sure. But what you guys are seeing is not so much COVID, right? It's more flu and the RSV or whatever it is. Yeah.
You're just sick.
Yeah, it's just the crud. It's what happens every time around this year.
And it's interesting. I still didn't want to get it. But did my time with it.
I did too. I mean, I had the cold and all that. I had no voice there for a week or so. And it was my wife goes, and it's, I know what's going on with the school and sick wise because I get everything. Whatever happens, my wife brings to me, and so it's been going on for 20 years.
Yes, sir.
I'm very aware of it. So odds are pretty good. And this time of year, I've usually got a sniffle or something almost every year.
So my mother was a teacher. Yeah. So same thing. Usually you would know it's the end of August, start of September, because there would be strep throat or something. And you're right, it rotates through.
Yeah.
But the neat thing about that, like for our family, it would go through and then
deal with it and move on.
We deal with it and go on to the next thing.
And a lot of people, I think, are now in that mode now, which is a good thing to hear and see. And yeah, obviously, do your best. Mitigate. If your kid's sick, stay home.
Yes.
Do all the proper things. Wash your hands. Do your stuff. But we're moving forward. We're going to get stuff. And if your child has to be out for an extended period, get with your teachers. Get the makeup work. Get them. If they're at home, get with them so that they can maybe work on some of the stuff at home while they're recuperating. Obviously, if they feel up for it and things. But yeah. So just have a plan. That's all you can do. We
had our secondary schools do robocalls the other day, just reminding parents just what you said. Yes, finals are important, but we have makeup plans. And, we don't need you walking in the building with 142 fever and we recognize that, and we're still open later.
And that's something that maybe we as a society have to kind of take a look at, because I know, and you're right there experiencing it too. You know, as we grow up, as we, you know, decide to put us in places of responsibility, you know, through that whole time, there's always been that mindset of toughness and like, oh, I got a cold, I'll muscle through it, I'll soldier through whatever. Oh, I got the flu, I can still come in and do some work, you know. And that's in my mindset too, so I understand it. But at the same time, we as a society need to say, no, I appreciate your work ethic, but you're doing more harm than good by coming in. Just stay home, and we'll deal with it. Maybe and maybe that's something we as a society have to get a little bit better on, changing that ideology a little bit, because it's absolutely true, and it's certainly in the case in schools here. I get it. Yep. We want to make sure our kids, but there's ways to get that to them. We've proven that through COVID, if nothing else, that where there's a will, there's a way. We'll figure it out. Right. The important thing is you're healthy and
absolutely
and able to live to fight another day.
That's yes.
Yeah. So, well, that being said, last night was, I guess you could say, the final board meeting of 2022 for the.
I hope so. I hope we don't have
knock on wood. It's the final board meeting of 2022.
Yes, sir.
So, generally, are these quieter meetings because, you know, holidays, people have a little bit of holiday-itis going on, so people are like, all right, we'll worry about that in the new year kind of thing. Or is it the opposite? I got 70 things we got to get done because the end of the year is now. I mean, I could see it go either way there, you know.
You know, one thing that's been fairly consistent with our meetings over the last 13, 14 months is we've tried to highlight our buildings. Mm. And so at the beginning of our meetings, after recognitions, we'll have report outs.
Gotcha.
We call them 90-day presentations. And last night we had something that had never been done, which is our two larger high schools, Roswell High and Goddard High School, report out. And so it was really neat for me as a former secondary guy to get to live back in that environment. And those are, you know, we tell them 10 minutes, and it's funny because we know they can't do it in 10 minutes.
Sure.
But they talked about it.
But it's more of a reminder of like, Brevity is your friend here. Let's keep it brief, but thorough.
Well, and they did.
Yeah.
But it does open the door for a lot of conversations. And then, you know, then we'll conduct business. So we've averaged about 2.5 hours for board meetings for quite a while now.
Sure.
And it goes back to just making sure that we do our diligence.
Mm-hmm.
But when you front load most of your meetings with a 30-minute presentation, at least one,
it does eat up some time.
It does kind of set the tone for you know, you're going to be there a while.
Sure. But it's all good stuff. It's all needed and good information. It's done because it's needed.
It informs not only the school board, but also the public. If people watch or when people ask, you know, you have the ability to answer,
sure,
whether that's your level or not.
Well, and let's face it, our school board members, you know, they're all dedicated individuals. They spend time in schools and classrooms. They do visit, but they can't see and hear everything.
Right.
They just can't. They're human beings. They can only be in so many places at one time, and so for them to make decisions on what's best for the district. Sure. You know, these reports are a vital lifeline for them to understand, you know, in what direction to go on decisions and things. So.
Well, I don't think the general public totally realizes how much time a school board member puts into this non-paying job.
Sure.
I mean, they get calls all the time.
And if they're not retired, they got day jobs they got to worry about.
That other job
yeah.
that keeps kicking in, and you know, they're invited to things, and they go to meetings, and they go to trainings, and they have to give up their time from work to go. Like we had one in Albuquerque a few weeks ago, and it is a labor of love, and you know, we want them as informed as possible. And,
absolutely.
And the cool thing about this particular board that we've got now, they're going to hold accountable, and so when they say we want to see this, they follow up on that, and it's very nice.
Because that's what they're supposed to do, and it's nice to see that.
It is, and
it's nice when the according to Hannibal Smith, I love it when a plan comes together. You know, that's exactly what's going on.
Well, and the taxpayer dollar, you know, we value that, and not just the way that it sounds. I mean, it's important to me that my staff and my teachers realize that, you know, there are people in our community working 2 or 3 jobs,
sure,
so that we can have a job to do what we do.
Well, and we're very thankful, because I was watching the news last night, and this doesn't impact Roswell, but it's schools, and I'm like, we're not in those shoes. Rio Rancho was on the news last night. Basically, they're in dire need of maintenance on some of their high schools and things, and basically they've got a problem of they need like, and I'm just making up the numbers, but just to give you a general consensus, they need like $100 million, and they got about $5 million to do it, and our RASD has been very good stewards of the money and things, and because of that, we don't have those situations here. I mean, they always want more money, and we're trying to make lemons out of lemon, or lemonade out of lemons here, but at the same time, there's not a lack of want, because they're, you know what I mean, to that level, and so I credit, you know, yourself, the superintendent, and that entire board, and boards of past too,
right,
for doing that and being those good stewards, because you know how hard it is to run a district when they don't have the bare minimum things they need to do that, and it sounds like that can got kicked down the curb a little too long, and now they're paying for it. So we don't have those problems not anymore. I mean, that was a very big problem 20 years ago, where they had to play catch, but the district is almost caught up. Almost. I think there's still a few I's to dot there, but you guys have finally kind of gotten out of that era a little bit.
It's interesting. We've got Nancy Lopez, Washington Avenue, and Mountain View, and then we would have hit every school minus the 2 big high schools, and then those come down the road. But that's been the vision of the superintendents and the board prior to me. That consistency has stayed.
Yeah.
So we've got, you know, our plans are down the road, they're in place, and we need to finish. But no, Roswell's been pretty blessed with good leadership, and I want to credit, you know, our financial department there at the district, that there's been a level of consistency there, and just good fiscal responsibility.
Yeah. So. I just wanted to put that out there in case people saw the same story I did on the news last night about Rio Rancho. I'm like, this is one of those moments you're like, count your blessings on we have good people doing good things here, because that's the kind of stuff that happens when you don't. And I hate to see that for Rio Rancho and stuff, but they're going to have to right that ship some way, somehow. But we're moving on to other things here. We don't have to worry about that. No. That's a good thing.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's all I was pointing at. So, anyway, so obviously a few presentations at the beginning of the meeting last night.
Honored the Goddard Rocket volleyball state champs.
Nice.
Really neat for that. I had a little personal note to that. My daughter's on that
That's
team.
right. Your daughter was, and by the way, I heard her name quite a bit while sitting here listening to the radio and hearing the contribution. She was one of the leaders on that team. That was, you know, she's very much. I mean, every single girl on that team is the reason why they got a blue trophy. But she did her share as well to bring home that blue trophy.
I tell you what, going through it on this side, because I've been at the high school level on my entire career, other than the last 2 here at Central Office, and I've watched state championship teams, and I got to watch parents participate, and I got to watch kids from freshmen all the way up, and getting to see it from the other side. I never realized the impact that would have, and you know, our senior parents especially, in how that, you know, the culmination of years and years, and I mean, we were very fortunate that, you know, the team got to win state.
Sure.
But even just,
I'm curious, are they Cedar and Layton? Like,
yes.
They're going to
heavy.
be a pretty new team next year.
Should be.
Gotcha.
Should be.
Okay.
And you know, it like Roswell High volleyball, or the 2 football teams or the soccer teams. You know, until you're a parent and you watch a senior play their last game, regardless when that is, where that is, for what level, you know, and the majority of them, that's the last time they're gonna suit up. that's a heavy duty emotional
I
moment.
can imagine. I
for
never thought
everybody.
about it till, I mean, obviously as a player, you think of it in certain terms, but no one thinks of the parents.
Right.
It's like, and I imagine it's that mixed blessing, but because you're sad that you're not going to get to see any more games and stuff, but you're obviously happy that it's a milestone in my child's life. They're moving on to that next phase to become adults. And this is a good thing. It's sad to see my little girl go, but at the same time, it's and don't get me wrong. Usually, especially if you're at a championship level teams, these parents have spent many a Saturday and Sunday sitting in some cold field or some empty gym watching their kids play every week. And sometimes, we can't go on vacation because we got a volleyball tournament or we got a baseball tournament or we got a soccer tournament or whatever it is. And so there's probably that mixed bag of, the parents like, our time just got so much freer now that they're done with sports, and so it's a whole wave of emotions. But yeah, initially it's that my little girl's not a little girl anymore.
Yep.
Crap, I'm old.
Well, I've decided I'm not going to get old. I'll just have anniversaries of past birthdays.
There you go. I'm perpetually 35 for the rest of my life.
Well, and it's interesting that you say that. As a school employee, you don't age. You don't.
This is true.
At the high school level, I was 18 for 20 years, 22 years. And you when you leave that environment, you grow up instantaneously.
Yeah.
So no, we were pretty excited about that.
Good.
Yeah, pretty excited that for all of our fall athletes. And getting to wrap up.
Oh yeah, football, cross country, every single athlete soccer, everyone, all the teams. We're so proud of every one of it. Roswell, Goddard, KUA, all the schools, private, doesn't matter. We appreciate everyone.
Well, and it's interesting that you bring up Gateway. They were on a court 2 over from us, and they were playing their state championship game. So if there was a break in our action, the fans were cheering across the facility.
Yeah, hey, there's some local
likewise.
kids.
And it was pretty neat to see that. So.
It is kind of us locals versus the world kind of mindset anytime you get to a state playoff.
It is whenever you cross.
Yeah, and it don't matter what sport it is, whether it's basketball or volleyball or football. there's that mindset.
No, and it's
you see it more often in basketball and volleyball because it's those tournament styles, and volleyball particularly, or where there's multiple teams playing in a. By the time football, obviously it doesn't go that way, and I'm not sure. If the basketball state playoffs, do they have their own courts, or do they divide the court on that? I couldn't remember on that one.
That's at the pit, and if you've never done one of those, that is an experience.
I'm always hearing the radio, getting it on the air, so I'm never physically there. I'm always the one putting it back on here. So.
New Mexico State Basketball Championships is one of the best in the nation.
Yeah.
The pit, it's just something you have to experience.
Yeah. So. Just wish they had better internet. That's my own little...
I'll talk to him about that.
Or better access to it.
I just wish they'd let Gene do it.
I know, right? We've been saying that.
Yes, I think I've heard that.
Well, at least we got a way better chance of you seeing it. But anyway,
that's right.
Sorry, I should keep to
We're
myself
good.
on those things. That's another conversation for another day. But so back to the meeting here, kind of wrangle it back in. So after we honored the volleyball team and stuff, what's next?
We talked community schools presentation.
Okay.
We have one community school that's up and running right now, which is Sierra Middle School.
Okay.
We received approval and award letters for Mesa Middle School and for University High School. So our the lady that's in charge of Sierra talked a little bit about our grant, talked a little bit about what's coming up with that. So we were super excited about that.
Great.
And then had our 90-day presentations with our 2 high schools.
Okay.
Big things coming, nothing new. We talked a lot about career technical, and
is it kind of like a state of the union type of
a little bit
for each school to the board kind of thing?
It tells them we've had data presentations in the past, and they don't need that.
Gotcha.
They can pull up a spreadsheet and see the school's data. What our board's after is tell me what you're doing.
Gotcha.
And
they want to know the physical.
Yes.
What group activities, what things are what are kids in rooms doing right now?
Well, and you can use educational babble, but nuts and bolts. Tell me what you're doing,
right.
and how am I going to know that it's working? And I want to measure.
Sure.
I don't want more or
they want
greater. I want concrete evidence.
Sure, they want the light bulb moments. They want to see those moments. They want to know. They want that firsthand. Okay, yeah, the text, the data. Yeah, we stare at that all day, and sure, that'll give us a big picture in an overall scheme thing. But what's going on a day-to-day basis? What kind of progress you're making in a day-to-day basis? What's the kind of stuff that's going on in every school? And that's the kind of info they're looking for, kind of thing.
Well, in both schools, it was pretty cool. Both schools brought students.
I say the best way to do that is probably
they brought the kids, man.
Bring the horses, right from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
And they talked about the opportunities and how those opportunities have changed in the last 2 years and the future.
You bring the product with you, and you see the product's a lot better, and like, this is what we're doing.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of the work they're doing.
I got to admit. I mean, yeah, you hear the world we live in, and you talk about younger, older mindsets and all that. And I don't know if I'm just an extra didn't care kid or what, but I feel like kids in some facets are way more mature than I ever was when I was their age. And that's a good thing. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I'm thinking that kids are way more self-aware about the world.
Yes.
In 2022 than they were when I was their age in 19 or
and it's a mind shift over the last 5 to 10 years of basically recognizing what you just said.
Yeah.
And as a teacher, having to go, okay, years ago they didn't have to care about college now.
Yeah.
But why can't they? And how about we give them some exposure and maybe try to get them going down some directions so that they don't waste the time that I wasted and money whenever I got to college. And, God bless my parents.
Yeah. Well, and I applaud it in some ways, but then I'm also worrisome that you guys are still young adults, kids, mindsets of that. And you should not throw all of that aspect of your life out the window just yet. There is plenty of time in your life for you to worry about stuff in your 30s. Enjoy your teenage years a little bit. Yes, socially aware, being, getting to be good human. But at the same time, football game or, a party that isn't crazy, But,
I can assure you.
That's part of being a young kid.
I can assure you some of our kids are enjoying their teenage years.
Yeah.
Plenty.
Good. Okay. I get worried sometimes. It's like, you're caring so much about social awareness. Are you just enjoying life, man? And just, enjoying the great things that life has? And because it makes you deal with that other bad stuff so much better if you got a better grasp on it.
The neat thing that I've seen is we've been talking for years about responsible young men and women. And one of the things, it's a side note that I've seen from some of the way our high schools are moving is it produces that. And that is one of the biggest things. Down the road, I don't know what's going to happen with your academic endeavors. But if I can have a student or a group of students or hopefully classes of students graduate from our high schools that know how to show up,
absolutely,
to work hard, to have a value for creating a good life for their family. That's huge.
And I'm wondering, I know we're getting philosophical here, but things that we kind of absorbed as kids socially, today's youth miss some of that. I think just not that by their own fault. It's just technology. The way people interact is completely different than when we were their age, and I think there's some skill sets that get missed. And I'm wondering, is that something that schools are going to have to pick up, that baton, and say, okay, I know you're in a world where you communicate in text or various, but maybe there is that. I don't know if etiquette's the right word, because I don't think that quite fixes it. But I mean, there seems to be a disconnect there, where socially and a little bit of I'd say pageantry and things, but just the way you handle and treat people, because we work in such impersonal modes, you learn the personal touch. And I don't care what you say about in life. You can have all the knowledge in your head, and be the most smartest person on the planet. But if you don't have the ability to communicate it, to relate it to other people, then what good is that information? And I think there's a disconnect there on how we exchange ideas and things like that.
You know, it's interesting that you bring that up. If you put two 18-year-olds in the room, they will communicate just fine.
Yeah.
If you take
maybe we're the ones that
if you take an 18-year-old and you put a 35 plus, heaven forbid you put a 50-year-old in the room with them, that's a lot of where the disconnect is. And it's a happy medium between accepting I've got to understand the way y'all communicate. And I would still like for you to get to a level to be able to function with me.
Sure.
And I think that we have broken down some barriers when it comes to that. And again, I feel like our district moving in that direction is in a much better place than we were.
Good deal. I just didn't know that was
about 4 years ago. No,
schools are like trying to address. You know.
Well, and it's if you take a 25-year veteran elementary school teacher, they will all tell you without question that kids are different than they were 20 years ago. And they should be different, because if you think of how society as a whole has changed, even in the last 10 years, you know, when the iPhone came in, it accelerated great things and it accelerated some not so great things.
Yeah.
And there's you know, the disconnect of, you know, I still have people tell me, well, I don't even use those cell phone things. And I was like, well, you should, because they're great.
Yeah.
And you're behind.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry. 10 years ago you were behind, but you're behind now.
Yeah. And I get it. And you're right, because I'm like, sure. Okay, you don't need to know how to do 70 things on your smartphone and like know every shortcut and everything else out there. But if you are a functioning adult in society that has to go and function in life, whether you're retired, not retired, if you've got to deal with people in life, which is pretty much short of you medically not able to, that's everybody, you should be able to work a smartphone. You should be able to make a phone call, get an email, and send and receive a text. That is bare bones. It is in the world today of, can you mail a letter? Can you fix your own dinner? Can you
make a long distance phone call?
Make a long distance phone call. Can you? Okay, this one's going to outdate it.
I know where you're
Can
going.
you change your own oil? You know what I mean? But I mean, that's it. That is the new world you live in. To function in society, you got to be able to text. You've got to be able to. Now, I'm not saying you need to be a computer expert, but you got to be able to work your toaster. You know what I mean? You got to be able to operate the oven in your house. You got to be able to operate this form of communication.
We were on a trip the other day, and we were trying to explain to our kids what an operator was. And they're like, wait a minute, you mean you actually called somebody to call somebody? And it's like,
dial for operator?
Yeah. And they're like, well, why? Why did you do that?
Yeah.
It's just such a foreign concept.
Yeah.
And it goes both ways. It's when you talk to somebody that does remember party lines, you know, where you couldn't talk because
especially
somebody
in
else was
rural
on the
parts
phone.
like here. Like, I grew up in Maryland, where party lines were pretty much a thing of the past, because it was. But out in New Mexico, in places more rural, that was still very much a part of the lexicon there, and so I knew friends and things that you pick up the phone and there's 3 people already on the phone, and you're like, who is this?
My dad had a business in with the agricultural industry, and ranch radio was huge, and you couldn't call them at a particular time because they wouldn't have access, they wouldn't have a signal. So I mean, like I said, we've moved so far, so fast, and we've had to catch up to that. And the irony is, and it does really relate to what we're talking about. Some of what we're doing to come back to be more successful is taking some steps back, and coming back to a little bit of the practical side, and tying the technology and the practical applications and making it relevant for our kids a little bit earlier in their careers, so that they will stay with us. That's the kid that we're losing. Why do I want to be here? I'm never going to use Algebra 2 at the grocery store. Why do I care?
Right.
Because you like this. I do like that. Well, then let's try to make it work.
And that's the same problem our generation and generations before us and slightly after us have dealt with too, because that truly is the mindset. You're in a class doing trigonometry and as a junior in high school, and you're like, unless I'm going to be a scientist or something, where am I going to use this? And now is the shift is, and this is really through STEM and all that. It's like, okay, yeah, I get it. The formulas and all the tried and true things that are based in math and science are boring as all get out. But guess what? To build that ship going to Mars, you've got to get to there. You've got to understand the foundations and principles of how we can get somebody to Mars. Once you understand that, then the cool part comes in, and you're like, now you can take this information. But it's you got to present it in a way that people will, and that's kind of been, because I know when I was a kid going through these, they're like, because you need to graduate, and you're like, why do I need to know it? Because you need to graduate. Oh yeah, but why do I need it to graduate? Because you need to know it.
Because I said so.
Yeah, and you were like,
and we bought it.
Yeah, exactly.
And the kids nowadays, they don't, and that's okay. One of the neat things that we've got going right now is several of our classes have industry certificates, safety certificates, mile marker certificates that the kids actually can take now, and they can go out into the workforce. And when they apply for jobs in different locations, they have these, and they have them in a portfolio. And so it's a lot of relevance.
And I like it because. And we're running out of time. I got too baggy. But college is an amazing thing, and students go to college, do your thing. But I love we live in a world now that they're saying, you know what, college isn't for everybody, but there is still other places in secondary education that you can get involved with that isn't a 4-year college degree. Now they're saying, okay, let's get you into a trade school. Let's get you into a specialty school for exactly the thing you want to pursue your dreams in. Or maybe there's a third path that works for this person.
Sure.
I love that all options are on the table. When we were kids, again, I'm doing that thing, but it was kind of like you either go to college, you go to the military.
There you go.
And that was it.
Yep.
And that mindset is not true anymore. So.
No. Real quick, because I do know we're out of time.
Yes.
Wanted to hit, we did approve a medical cannabis policy, and just want to debunk a couple myths. Number one, we don't have a choice if a doctor prescribes that for a student at school.
Because then you get sued if you don't.
Well, what we wanted to do is we wanted to get in front of it, and we wanted to govern that medicine the same way we govern everything else. So our policy is very clean. They can't smoke it. It has to come accompanied by doctor's orders. So if anybody has any questions on that, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, because, like I said, we've built a really good policy.
Sure.
That's equitable and it's safe.
And I'm not, in by any way, shape, or form, an expert here, but I'm assuming most cannabis medicines that a underage person would be getting probably come in a pill form of some
They
kind.
have to.
Yeah, it's not.
According to our policy, they have to.
So that being said, it's probably treated like if your kid gets prescribed pain medicine or any other what's considered a narcotic, it's treated that same way. I'm sure the nurses get a hold of it and they distribute it as they're supposed to, and so the kid's just walking around with cannabis in their pocket.
I relayed that to a parent 2 ways. I said, if you insert the word EpiPen or Ritalin everywhere you see cannabis,
that's the policy.
That's the policy.
Yeah. So it's pretty cut and dry, pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, like you said, don't hesitate. Reach out and ask and talk.
Reach out to me versus Facebook, please.
Yes. Yeah. Talk to people that can give you real answers, not their opinions.
Sure. Oh, I'll give you my opinion.
Very good. Is there anything we didn't get to cover you wanted to make sure we did?
No, I think I want to thank everybody. I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas.
You too.
Hope everybody gets a chance to reset. We've got holiday basketball girls tournament coming up, and popcorn
and the holiday. We will be carrying all the games on KSVPTV.com. The Goddard and Rocket games will have announcers for and everything. The other games will just be there to watch, but we will have all of the games, KSVPTV.com, for popcorn and the holiday tournament.
Well, and that's awesome. And I love that KSVP.
But go.
and I will say that, man, you know what? Even if you just go to one.
Yeah.
I don't care which school it is, but go to one and get that.
We do this for the
vibe.
out-of-town friend, so kids from some of the other schools, their families can watch. Your out-of-town grandparents can watch. If you're in town, get your butt to Ground Zero and to Roswell, the Coyote Den, and root on these teams.
I tell you what, so I've got, I mentioned the daughter, and I generally don't like to do that, but she also plays basketball.
Okay.
So we rewatch the games, and we critique. So,
good. So you use it as a coaching type.
Sure.
Type.
That's what a coaching tool. That's what it is.
Absolutely. Let's rewind that slam real quick. Hold up. Forward, right, forward, right.
But unfortunately, it's like, why'd she slam it on you?
Yeah, maybe not so much of that one. But as always, appreciate the visit. Thank you for coming in and joining us each month. And we look forward to 2023. And obviously, anything else we can do outside of our normal scope here, let us know, and we'd be happy to help here. And
likewise.
Yeah.
And I would advise, too, I'll communicate with you always, weather delays.
Yes. Yeah.
So if people,
he's always been one of the first people that or I don't know, but I'm one of the first people I get a note from him whenever those weathers happen, and of course some of the other Super and Dexter, they're all pretty good about reaching out too. So we will keep you up to date,
please.
And as soon as, of course, I do get a robocall, which you usually beat the robocall. There's been one or two times because my wife. Where the robocall beat you, but most of the time you beat the robocall for me.
I never realized just how much fun that decision-making process was, and how stressful that was. So
I know. It's already 9 o'clock. I got to shut up. I'll get in trouble. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND Roswell.
West 12th Street between North Washington Avenue and North Missouri Avenue. A statement from the city says the work will begin Wednesday and last through Friday of this week. The section of road will be closed to most traffic during working hours these days, but access will be maintained for residents and businesses in the area. New Mexico will begin offering some students free virtual tutoring for math, science, and other subjects. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham announcing the online tutoring program as part of the state's efforts to invest in education. The tutoring will be for students between pre-K and 8th grade at Title I schools, including tribally controlled schools. It'll be available before, after, or during school hours. Participating students will be able to receive up to 20 hours of tutoring. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Fewer building permits issued last month, dropping 11.2%, while new home starts fell slightly in November. Consumer banking giant Wells Fargo being ordered by federal regulators to pay $3.7 billion in fines and refunds to customers. It is the largest fine to date against the bank. Wells Fargo cited for violations ranging from illegal fees and interest on auto loans and mortgages to incorrectly applied overdraft fees against savings and checking accounts. Stock in Tesla has taken a hit, falling below $150 in the midst of the turmoil that has engulfed Twitter since Tesla chief Elon Musk purchased the social media platform. Stocks narrowly mixed on Wall Street at mid-morning, the stock market reacting to a major shift in policy by the Central Bank of Japan. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Have you noticed the days are getting shorter? This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but we're on the downhill side of the year, so every day is a couple of minutes shorter than the one before, even though your plants need plenty of food and water to keep them healthy. Like those globe willows that are turning yellow. A good dose of the right fertilizer will make them bright green again. No matter what the problems you're having, we probably have a cure at Roswell Seed Company, but come see us soon, because winter's coming, you know.
When Rhonda was experiencing severe abdominal pain, she knew she could count on Artesia General Hospital's emergency department to provide critical care any time of day or night.
I didn't think twice about driving the 45 minutes from my home to Artesia's ER. I felt like I was their only patient. Excellent care from everyone, and I'm thankful beyond measure.
Each year, thousands of patients trust Artesia General Hospital with their health emergency. With specialty certifications in advanced adult and pediatric life support and trauma care, their emergency room physicians have the experience you need when every second counts. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Learn more at artesiageneral.com/emergency.
Your home for Kim Commando in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.